Good day. Welcome to Mandatory Fun. It is Tuesday, July 28th. I think it's the 28th. Yeah. It's Tuesday, July 28th. We know what's up. Milt Connor says, dang, I tried for number 2 because it's good to be the shit. Whatever. Sup holes. How's your Tuesday going? Good. How's your Tuesday? Crystal Clear's here. What's up? Magna Figure. Hey, you made it. You made it live. Awesome. Not on the replay. Milt Connors, my man, says every time Chad says Spectrum? You mean Spectrum? Spectrum's got such supervision. We all yell like Pee-wee's Playhouse. Yeah, I'm a dork. Do you guys remember when I had the secret word of the day on my streams? Might have to bring that back. Oh, that's the plan. We're going to try to have some fun. Son of GTO, what's up? What's going on? 12-Eye Cat. Israel is real? I mean, I've been there. You know. Like the history, don't care about the culture. Yeah, Cutthroat, what's up, man? Good to see you. Kevzilla says, I'm right on time. Absolutely. Justin Boof. Good afternoon. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. And Jeffy, right out of the gate, Jeffy says, stupid, loyal subjects. Bull crap in their crappery. Good old Mesk. We're going to talk about some Mesk. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. I actually, I cut it real close. I almost missed go time. I found some other images of things that we can talk about. And that's why I kind of wanted to do a weekday show, because I mean, we can just talk about all the horrible nightmare fuel cockadoodie. We're 3 minutes in that, that we find across the interwebs, because social media is a never ending toilet. Billy D, what's up, brother? Solid Tuesday. The stream will get me through the rest of the workday. That's what I'm talking about, man. Absolutely. Crystal clear. Watching its chat on my day off, my day is automatically better. I'm glad to hear that. Michael Zimmerman, glad to see that you're reporting for Mandatory Fun. I am not a sir. Not even in the least. Australia and Israel are actual places. Yeah, they're not like Narnia, but I don't know. Let us commence to the speaking about the stuff and things. We shall. I'm wearing my if you know, you know, right? Never go full classified shirt. Which we're going to talk about some Joe related stuff. Anywho. Let's see. I'm gonna make a poll. Should I do it in the chat? It seems like people don't like the poll widget. Do you guys want it in the chat? I can do that. Crystal Clear says, when you say nightmare fuel, are you talking worse than the Bush Wookiee? Oh, I'm talking about the assassination culture type people. Like the Bush Wookiee, the insensitive Chad lady, the It's Science troll guy. Like those are just fun. They're funny. They're jokes, Even the guy in the pink suit, I don't know, seems kind of gay. Those are jokes. But all these assassination culture people on the internet, they're legit in their mental illness, 100%. Did you say Joe stuff? I am there, possibly talking about we finally got Flash. Yeah, I'm not talking about classified Flash. I'm talking about the Joe brand at Hasbro overall. So, yeah. Nice G.I. Joe stuff. Yeah, we're gonna. Ace's Place, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. Another guy who understands that we need to cancel the cancel culture, because that's a fucking thing. All right, so I gotta do this. I'm gonna have to mute my mic because everybody wants to fucking put it in the chat. Okay, fine. We'll put it in the chat. Let me mute myself real quick. Like, maybe there's no feedback now. So let's see. Here we go. You know what we're gonna do first? Oh, I'm not gonna switch it to members only. Urgh. We do not want to do that, kids. All right. So if you don't own Mask and you were to buy Mask now, would it be vintage Kenner? Would it be modern retro loyal subjects? Or would it be a bit of both? Bit of both. There's your freaking poll, turds. Anyway, did you see the message Ace posted on Facebook about he met with the guys from Loyal Subjects? I did. And that was pretty screwed up, the way that they kind of approached him. I can't necessarily say aggressively, but I've known Ace for a long time. He's not one to really exaggerate things. So I don't know. It's not cool. Bear 11 Charlie, what is up, my friend? Good to see my favorite mortar man in the world. I did once again come across that reel of the guy hanging the mortar and keeping his fingers over the tube. Came out looking like that. I saw that again. Dude, just put it in the poll. You don't have to put it there. Where'd it go? Yeah, just put it in the poll. Crystal Clear says, I want vintage Kenner only. As tempting as the new ones are, they don't have the same soul. I'm a big believer in toys with souls, with stories, with history, you know. Big believer in that. I voted both and gave a response. I'm gonna have Jeffy time you out. Just kidding, Jeff. Don't do it. Ace's Place says, I don't collect them, but I'd start with the vintage line and buy modern to balance out high prices. You know what's funny? We're going to get into that. Yeah, we are. We're going to get into that just like this. So, obviously the Loyal Subjects made modern retro Mask toys. I can say that I appreciate the update to the figures themselves. And here are a couple of examples, if you care, just to see comparisons, what's updated, what's not, what's better, what's worse, things like that. Toying Around did a video for the Thunderhawk, and Ghost Prime Reviews did a comparison of the Condor with Brad Turner. Again, this is one of those things, if I feel it, if my initial gut reaction says, yeah, I want to get it, then I'm going to get it no matter what. I'm not going to listen to what somebody else on YouTube says. But, you know, it's just kind of one of those things. But some people like to see these sort of comparisons to be better informed. It's just not my jam. I just thought I would, you know, give the two of them a little bit of props for doing the comparisons. Chuckies. Phonetically, tell me how to pronounce that, please. Assuming that any of the modern Mask offerings end up being better than the vintage versions, then I'd go for the better version. Again, that's why I wanted to share comparisons versus just somebody glazing on, oh yeah, look at the Loyal Subjects fucking Thunderhawk. It's the best thing ever. I think a comparison would probably help people out with that. Hey, Sci-Fi Swamp Man made it. What's up, dude? Good to see you. Brandon R., all the way from the Great White North of Canada. Thank you for being here, my dude. Too many QC issues with the Loyal Subjects. Yeah. If you type in the Loyal Subjects Mask in the YouTube search bar. You can find tons of videos on that right there. It's only noon here, kids, so I'm still drinking a coffee. Got to do it. Mill Connors says he's half totted. He's half totted, only half. So do you ride in a medium length bus? Bear 11 Charlie, day one, keep your fingers away from the muzzle. I think that's a universal, no matter what the muzzle is, keep your fingers away from the muzzle. Yeah, always keep your barrel pointed down range, keep your fingers out of the muzzle or the breech. Yeah. You know, or the feed tray cover, and any and all of the above. Ninja friend, what's up, Nico? The Titan says, I vote neither. I'm buying the ramen toy version. Forget disloyal subjects. Okay. All right. I guess I could have put a neither in there. Or I don't want to play your stupid game today. Drew G's at work, will pop in and out as he can. That's the way to do it, my man. Listen in, have some fun, hang out with some cool people, that aren't all about tribalism and echo chambers and stuff, while you're getting paid by the man. Jeffy says, I hate this company so much. Like, if I had a firebomb in the will and was playing Minecraft, things would Minecraft in Minecraft. That's a lot. That's a lot of anger toward a company. Yeah. Don't hold back, Jeff. Tell us how you really feel. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend Jay Bartlett is here. What's up, Bardo? Bardo was playing Metal Gear Solid 5 this morning. It was fun to watch that. Oh, Bardo is getting in Metal Gear Solid 5. House Hendo, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Perfect timing. Chad just clocked out. Should have just clocked in. Hang out and get paid. Yeah. They don't care about you. Why care about them? That's how it should be. Let's see. Loyal subjects, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures are wonky. I've heard that too. Yeah. They are ace. I'm cursed with a love for Leonardo, and man, oh man, those figures are wonky as hell. Darth Gutierrez, what's up, my friend? Thank you for joining us today, even though it's technically mandatory. It's mandatory. House Hendo says, inquiring minds want to know, what are your thoughts on 1/24th scale? Companies like Joy Toys seem to be investing heavily in it. Hey, it's a viable scale. Again, if we talk about 118 is the Lord scale for world building, when you get smaller, it affords more world building. A lot of it is space, plastic, things like that. But we all know the smaller you shrink stuff, obviously, some detail and tampos and such are just going to go out the window. But I don't have an issue with the scale. I mean, I have my preferred scale. I mean, we all do, right? But I think there's love to be given all around. Yeah. Chad needs a coffee patch for his coffee fix. No, I just drink it. Come on, man. Just drink it. Do it like you're supposed to do it. Beans, water, done. The old in and out is the way to do it. I don't know what we're referring to. Are we talking about in and out? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. Work time fun. That's what I'm talking about right there. Snake. I mean, wrong Metal Gear, but yeah. Bardo was playing Metal Gear. Hendo says, work in a foundry, can't exactly run the clock. They watch for that. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, right? Situational awareness, I get you. Understood. Yeah, everybody's just kind of talking to each other. Mother Slug says, Wolverines. I finally got my power back. That's what I'm talking about. Thunderstorm took the power out here 4 hours ago. It just went back on. You know what? This is for you then.
Wolverines! Wolverines. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. That's what we're talking about. Jedi Ben, what is up, my dude? Working and listening. That's the way to go. 100%. Roy Campbell yelling snake is embedded in my brain. Yeah. Snake. Anywho, so yeah, these are a couple videos that you can check out. You know, if you want to see comparisons, I think comparisons would definitely be more important than somebody just, you know, glazing all over it. It's the best thing ever. Oh my God, they have elbows. So what are we talking about? Currently, we are talking about mask. There's a poll in the chat. So vintage Kenner, modern retro, loyal subjects, bit of both, none of the above, whatever. My good friend Nico Trona says, I'd support Ramon's Machina. It's Machina toys if I was into them as everything else as I'm digging today. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, look at this. Also, my good friend and unfriendly moderator extraordinaire made a video about the new mask stuff before it dropped. You're welcome. You know what, dude? Put the link in the chat. Give everybody a little shameless Jeffy plug. Let them check it out. B. Rivera. I'm on the clock right now. Just got to make it to 15:30. Well, hang out with us, man. Yeah, it'll be cool. All right, so we're going to remove that. Then I'm going to put something else. I'm going to put something else up on the screen here for you. This is some stuff that I really wanted to talk about. So somebody had mentioned in the comments, I believe it was Ace's Place. If it wasn't, whatever, we'll just say it is for argument's sake, about buying vintage, but buying modern to pad the collection depending on costs. I'm sure you see I'm going to go somewhere with that. So, yeah, here's Big Bad Toy Store. This is all their mask shit. There's their weird San Diego comic. I mean, I guess it's cool, but this just screams old school 80s Tron figures to me with, you know, bendable knees. So yeah, let's check this out real quick. These prices, like somebody was talking yesterday about the Hasbro Arctic Hiss and 200 and some odd dollars, and just thinking, wow, these toys they're getting expensive. All right, so the hologram edition San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Mask Condor with Brad Turner's $55. The hologram version of the Thunderhawk is $80. Gator, just the Gator with Dusty, $65. The freaking Hurricane, $85. $85. Yeah, look at this. Condor, as you were, originally cost $15. Was it $15? I thought it was less than $15. And then we go back to this. See, it says Stealth Submarine Cycle. It doesn't say Piranha. Interesting, right? This says Hurricane. This says Gator, but not Piranha. All right. I guess they lost the ability to use that word. Kenzo, what's up, brother? It's good to see you, man. Thank you for being here, my dude. Sci-Fi Swamp Man says, I can't tell for sure I'm on hold with the VA, so I'm only in the chat, but seems like mask is the topic. It's the thumbnail, too. Yeah. Yeah. Jedi Ben says, I do like the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, but other than that, it's just too overpriced. You know what? It's actually going to get worse. So just hang tight. Generally, we go places with topics. Like you kind of have to wait till the end for the punchline. Armored assault vehicle. I guess they lost that name too. Cliff Dagger, $80. pin set, a freaking pin set, $60. Thunderhawk, $60. I want to say that came down. Rhino originally cost $40, says Mother Slug. All right, there you go. But here we go. They don't call it the Rhino, they call it the Mobile Defense Unit. $125 with Matt Tracker and Brusato. Now, this version of the not Rhino with Matt Tracker, Brusato, Scott Tracker, and T-Bob. $175. Okay. Switchblade, $90. Sometimes when you look at, do you want the vintage one for the soul, or do you want the modern one because the vintage one might, snap, things break? It's very, there's vac metallized parts, real rubber tires, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, to get all of them, $325 plus tax and shipping. Yeah, and then here's their Condor, $35. Yeah. Kenzo says, I bought the Thunderhawk. That's the only new one I have. I have a bunch of the Kenner. That's kind of where I'm at with this stuff. If you're such a fan of Mask, how come you didn't have any Mask before the Loyal Subject shit came out? I mean, to me, it just seems like a valid question. But all right, so we go up here and let's just say this right here. This is a brand new Loyal Subjects, not Rhino, known to have QC issues. Not trying to throw shade. It's out there for anyone to find it. Okay. There's an original one. Complete. 100% complete. $170. And that's when you got to ask yourself, do I want the new one with, extra figures? Because I can get the original one for less. It's just kind of one of those things. You got to ask yourself what works best for you. But a lot of people say, well, I'll get the new stuff because the old stuff is just way too expensive. It's too hard to find. It's too expensive. No, it's not. That's just the story that people like to say to justify these kind of prices. Sure. Okay. Scott and T-Bob. I'm sure that there's someone out there that is like, I will pay $175 plus tax and shipping so I can get Scott and T-Bob with the friggin' not Rhino. But then again, right, you can get the original one. Yeah. With the original box and instructions. That box is in pretty good shape too. That's not bad. Ace's Play says, I'll be checking out Mask at my next toy show just to see comparisons now. Yeah. OG is better made. That's what I've heard from a lot of people. I try very diligently to not fall into this. Well, these people said this. Well, the internet said that. Right? Because that's like 2 steps away from echo chamber. However, at the same time, the QC issues of the Loyal Subject stuff is very well documented. Whereas, I mean, the Kenner shit was pretty bulletproof. So I guess a lot of it really boils down to the nickel and dime stuff. Do you want a figure that's more articulated with like an actual face on their face, or do you want like the old school stuff because it's old school? That would kind of be like the Hasbro retro Princess Leia versus just getting a Kenner Princess Leia. I guess that's what it comes down to. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeffy is going to shit in his mouth. Sorry, I had to, man. I love typos. Jim Largo, what's up, man? Don't ever be sorry that you're late. Still Wind, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Sci-Fi Swampman says, yeah, those prices are ridiculous. They're pretty freaking high, right? This stuff is readily available and they treat it very boutique. I mean, $90 for a switchblade. Yeah, I don't know. I think you just reach that point where too much is, it's just going to push people out of even being interested in these items. But me personally, I don't think $60 is too much for a Thunderhawk. If the Thunderhawk doesn't have like ridiculous QC issues, I know the Rhino does, but I'm not too sure. Jeffy, does the Thunderhawk from Loyal Subjects have QC issues? Yeah. It's a shame Ramen Toy didn't win the mask license. Yep. I know a lot of us has said that numerous times. Yeah, Ramen should have got that license. Absolutely. Ace has shown with his Machina line that he can do this stuff. He can do the transformations. He has the quality control. And it's not because, I like Ace, he's my friend and all that stuff, but there's a proven track record of Ace and his Machina line. The new Scott is a black boy and new design T-Bob looks nothing like Mask. Which new Scott? Are you talking about from comics or something? Because this one's not. Yeah, they steered away from Black Tracker. They kind of stuck with the original blonde hair, blue eyed version, and whatever. It's not a big deal if they want to keep him blonde hair, blue eyed, or make him black. It's just a matter of like, you need consistency. And in Energon, he's black again, which is all well and good, but this one's not because they're going with the retro, and that's where like race swapping gets a little funny. So they should have just gone left or gone right, but pick a direction and just stick to it. Yeah, they do have blast effects for the masks or helmets or whatever you want to call them. Yeah. Neil Temple says the problem with buying vintage masks is that many of them have loose springs and the mechanisms don't work anymore. I don't disagree with that argument, my friend, but I would also say the problem with a lot of the Loyal Subjects masks is that their shit doesn't work out of the box. Yeah, Jeff says all of it. Mother Slug, really what makes the Switchblade that price? That's what I would love to hear their excuse why. Yeah. Size of the vehicle? I don't know. It is larger than the Thunderhawk. I don't know. I'm not going to make an excuse for that. I think $90 is a little high when the Thunderhawk is what, 60? Yeah. It's kind of one of those things. It's like Destro and the Despoiler. If this Switchblade was, say, 70, 75, would more people be like, okay, I'll get in on that? Whereas at $90, that 15 extra bucks doesn't get you the sales. So I don't know. It's just kind of one of those things. Sci-Fi Swampman says, now I can hear. I figured out how to hear chat over the god-awful hold music. Dude, that VA hold music is the worst. Jim Largo says, Ace is the place for retro stuff with updated quality. I see what you did there. Cartoon Network, Mask, new line coming out. Matt and Scott are black, and one member of the team supposedly is gay. Well, at least they're keeping Matt consistent with what he is in the comics now. I don't know. Sure, whatever. Scott's his fucking nephew anyway. How many of them do you think honestly know that Scott's his nephew? I would say very few, at best. Yeah, see, there you go. You can buy a loose, complete, original Switchblade from somewhere around $150 to $175, depending on condition. Were I to replace any original I had, it might be the Switchblade. And this is where people are going to look at this price and they're going to look at that price and say, you know what, I'll just get the Loyal Subjects one. Now, I'm not saying that everything Loyal Subjects is going to be more expensive than the original. However, right, pause for dramatic effect, go back to it. Here is a perfect example of 100% complete original Rhino with everything for less than, this one right here. So I guess it just kind of depends. And that's just something that I just wanted to talk about. We're not going to live on this subject for too long. Justin Booth, when Mattel starts producing the 4-inch DC figures after 2026, I'm going to start collecting them. 118 is easier and less expensive to both World and Army build. Yep. And even though space is every collector's enemy, it doesn't matter if it's stamps or Hot Wheels cars or Barbie dream houses, model trains or 12-inch original G.I. Joe. Space is everyone's enemy. You still get a little more leeway with 118 scale. So, Michael Zimmerman, let's switch Matt Tracker's race every new attempt to bring Mask back. Okay, we do that. What are we going to make him next? Indian? Like from India, not American Indian? But Neil Temple says, well, if the new stuff doesn't work out of the box, well, F that line. Again, it's not the sky is falling sort of a thing. It's not everything, but yes, they do have rampant quality control issues with the loyal subjects mass stuff. Don't know if that was, shit happens at factories, but it is what it is. Jim Largo says there's a similar problem with vintage Starcom. Gimmick mechanisms don't hold up over time. Well, that's the thing about play features. It's look at the freaking old superpower stuff. You get Red Tornado, he doesn't do anything anymore. Half of their little power gimmicks don't work. And then you have what? You have a figure with less articulation because it had a play feature gimmick and the play feature doesn't work anymore. Just like the Ghostbusters Fright features. I'm not the biggest fan of those play features. Dreadnought says, I know it's not MESC, but the Ninja Turtle Joe crossover is very reasonable cost-wise. Yeah, it is. That raises other questions too, right? If that shit was G.I. Joe classified, it just classified, it would be twice the price. Easily twice the price. Yes, Hendo, price is king to consumers. It absolutely is. You're always going to have the stands and your brand loyalists that'll just, they don't care. They're going to get it anyway, and that's fine. Sometimes that's what keeps the lights on. The Ninja Turtle crossover Dragonfly is only slightly smaller, has tons of playability, and is only $55. There you go. Tells you everything you need to know right there. Chuches. Gotcha. I don't like the race swapping, and my ethnicity is typically represented ladyboy hookers. I don't care about representation. Me either. No. Usually the only people who care about representation are like old white liberal women because they think they're like some kind of a savior for people. They're the ones that came up with the terms Native American, African American, Islamophobia, like all these bullshit terms that mean nothing. They're the ones that came up with that. Larry, what's up, my dude? Thanks for being here, brother. Appreciate you. Matt Tracker didn't want kids of his own. He's that cool uncle. Miles Mayhem kind of killed Scott's dad. If you know, you know. Ace's Place. The vehicles look great. Wish they do 1/12 scale. A giant rig like that would be fun. Well, when they do the classified mask, Energon, G.I. Joe, kitchen sink, whatever the fuck, they're not going to have vehicles. It's just going to be figures with helmets. Yep. They can't even do the Silver Mirage. You think they're going to do fucking Thunderhawk or the Rhino? Forget it. There's no way. No way. Mother Slug says, big talk about Mask on Cartoon Network is about who Matt's wife is and how they are looking to bring her to the cartoon, which we all know what that means. Queen boss. Oh, God. Yeah, she's going to fucking oof. If they make Scott his kid right out of the gate, that's a fucking hard no. Scott is not his son. Never has been. Indian Raj Tracker fights call center. Fights call center crime rings.
It's science, people! Science!
Fact. Oh, man. Jim Largo says, I think play sets / diorama pieces will be the next gold rush. Most folks have the figures they want. Now they just need to build a set and do display and toy photography. I met the guy who invented toy photography. Did I ever tell you that? It was an awesome experience. I'll never forget it. It changed my life for the better in so many ways. Yeah, and that's why you see like Duarte Studios, Random Diorama. They just make awesome stuff. And I think a lot of that is going to always come back around to, smaller indie, like fans doing the best work. Well, we've seen Hasbro's efforts, and you want to talk about dioramas like, oh, here's a carbon freezing chamber. It goes nowhere. It's like very half-assed. Oh, here's a fucking wall of the Tantive. It's called Tantive 4, kids, not Tantive. Here's a wall of the Tantive 4, and you got to get so many of them to make a hallway, but you can only buy so many. Yeah. I played with Superpowers Brainiac kicking Superman until his arm fell off, says Neil Temple. There you go. Right? Yeah, I was never really a fan of play features. But, I mean, that's just me. Jeffy says not new, but it's hard to find stuff from the line season 3 and beyond. Gotcha. Kenzo says maybe this November the Loyal Subjects Wave 1 stuff will be 30 to 40% off or something like that. Well, it doesn't sell out, so that's either cost. Mask is not as popular as people think it is. A lot of us love it because we remember it from our childhoods and it had that banging friggin' intro. But they went off the rails and then they just started racing each other. And if you didn't make it in the 80s, you're not going to make it now. That's all there's to it. I know a lot of people want to see Inhumanoids come back, and maybe it will as like a boutique thing, but none of this shit sold out. None of it. All of it is in stock. Hurry up and pre-order your Wave 2 shit. Not like that's going to go out of stock. Jim Largo says, Playmates and Mattel have shown that vehicles and playsets can be done in multiple scales at a minimum price. Hasbro is price gouging. Absolutely. You know what the best example of that is? It's called fucking Barbie. Yeah. They absolutely could. Impossible Pie, what is up? You're looking at it, my dude. We're having mandatory fun talking about Mesk. Crystal Clear says, buddy of mine got the Ninja Turtle crossover Dragonfly and Aw Shell Striker. The Striker almost doesn't look like a turtle toy. Agreed. And that April Scarlet O'Neil or whatever the fuck she's called looks pretty rad. I'm not against it. Like I knew it was coming. Laser Pants and I, we were talking about that almost like 2 years ago, and then it finally gets announced and people are shocked and we're like, why are you surprised? I don't know. Some people don't listen. Alex asks, what is up, my friend? I like this lunch break entertainment show. Thank you very much. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. We're just hanging out, talking shit, talking toys, pop culture, comics, gaming, whatever you want. We talk it all. And I have an awesome comment of the day. Matt Tracker, don't need no baby mama drama. I was going to make a poorly timed joke about Scott not having a dad. Now they made him black, but some people, they wouldn't find the humor in it. They'd get all mad about it. Gerard O'Connor, what's happening, man? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Robert's Infinite Realms. Work is busy as hell, but I'm on a break. Well, that's why we're here. Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern. We're just going to do it. We're going to keep going. You met the inventor of toy photography? Holy shit. What are you, 200 years old? Well, I mean, he said he invented toy photography. I don't know. That's the rumor. Yeah. Impossible Pie says, I would consider getting the Rhino and Switchblade from loyal subjects since I don't have the vintage version, but I don't like the redesigned figures. There you go. You can always get the figures, right? I have a bunch of just random mask figures, and they're little 2.5-inch scale all over my Joe room. Every once in a while, I'll just see them at a toy show as long as they have their helmet, mask, helmet. They're fucking helmets. As long as they have their accessory, I'll pick them up. So, yeah, I mean, they're cheap. You can get them easily. Impossible Pie. I think a Mask live action movie could easily be made today with CGI. Sure. I think if Hasbro had some kind of a smart long game, they would have tied everything together like the Energon universe did, and they would have done it years ago. But they only look at the now. When they made the first Transformers, that Nest, can't call it a Nest team, but the Nest guys, they could have easily been Joe, but they don't care about that stuff. Mask is as popular as Tron to booger picking nerds. Tron is more readily accessible to your everyday people, I would argue. Tron has numerous live action movies and rides at Disney parks. Mask has none of that shit. Mask can't even figure out if Scott is fucking Matt Tracker's kid, which he's not. I guess now they're trying to bring a wife in for him and all this bullshit. Why are they trying to bring a wife in? I thought that, modern day fucking politically correct shit, you don't need a nuclear family unit. Anywho, Bobby Vance, what's up, brother? Hasbro is absolutely price gouging and fanboy retards are fueling it. Yes and yes. Absolutely they are. We all know that. I mean, people are going to make excuses for it. Well, costs and so on and so forth and this, that. And, you got to leave that multi-billion-dollar company alone. They're trying. Yeah, they're trying to increase their profits and fire everybody. Hendo says, I'm mixed. They represent me with most annoying characters in the last 10 years. They can get stacked, in my opinion, with all their bullshit. What? No, you can't say that.
That's that bullshit!
Mm-hmm. Hey, wasn't Cartoon Network supposed to go out of business like 3 times? Probably. Whatever. I don't know. Yeah, Kenzo, I'm not into the Toidles at all whatsoever. They also did a great crossover with Masters. They freaking did. I got the complete line of that crossover. The freaking Starscream Scareglow. I know it's not that crossover, but you're a Motu guy. I love that Starscream Scareglow. And the freaking Skeletor Megatron. Skeletron? I guess can't call him that. Scott's mom will be a gender-bending Miles Mayhem. Probably. Yeah. Scott's dad will be his transgender mom. I wouldn't doubt it. Impossible Pie, channel member for 26 months, uses his Chad Chat trademark this phase 2024 and says, oh, what's your favorite Mask vehicle? Mask, the Rhino. Venom, the Switchblade. How about that? I'll give you a twofer. for flexing your Chad chat. How about that? Kenzo says, what's funny is that with the loyal subjects, Matt Tracker doesn't fit in the car with the wings down while his mask is on. Jesus H, really? Hey, if you guys want to talk about a Mask live action movie, why don't you ping Jeffy offline? He can tell you all about writing a Mask movie and gay characters that had to be inserted for ESG scores. Can't you, Jeff? Yeah. I guess I just told you guys what happened. So Hendo says, I'm laughing. I used to get shit because mine had visitation and actually showed up on weekends. Oh, nice. See, he's laughing. Some people can have fun. Jim Largo says, if Energon toys are made at Mask scale, would they sell? No. It would make it easier to scale everything with Transformers. Look, that being said, take a modern 4-inch figure or, a 3 3/4. I apologize. I just kicked my table. Stand them with a masterpiece, any masterpiece, Prime or Megatron, the scale great. I mean, that's just my opinion. We all have our own, but that's how I have mine displayed. And I think they look awesome. At some point, we're going to discuss the Hasbro Transformers team. They were interviewed by somebody at San Diego Comic-Con this past weekend, and they discussed, when they're Energon Transformers. Yeah, we're going to do them at some point. Blah, 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 blah. This is very poo-poo about it. So whatever. G.I. Joe 66 says, nice. I get to listen at work. Thanks for being here, my dude. Thank you very much for being here. I heard years ago Hasbro was trying to make their own cinematic universe and Mask was rumored to be in it. Yeah, so was fucking Visionaries. You know what the problem is with that? It's called Lorenzo Di Bonaventura. If the MCU, when they were rocking and rolling before, Phase 4 and MCU and all that garbage, if they could make Groot and Rocket that popular by good writing, there's no reason that Paramount couldn't have done justice to Transformers Joe Mask. No reason. Look at those Mission Impossible movies. Paramount. You know what those didn't have? Lorenzo Di Bonaventura. They had Tom Cruise and they didn't have that piece of crap. That's it. I hear the talk about having a Mask line in the Lord scale. This is Impossible Pie, but I do like it at the 1/24th. Yeah, I don't dislike it at the 1/24th scale. But the thing with Mask is about the vehicles. It's not about the figures. That's why the 1/24 scale works well for Mask. Now, Ramen Toy is doing Machina in 1/18 scale, and the Piranha's the first one out of the gate. I hope you guys have seen that already. If not, yeah, he's already shown renders of his not Slyrax figure and such. That being said, as soon as the 1/12 scale stuff comes out, it's just going to be, generic figures with helmets, blah, blah, blah. So Nico says it's going to be 2030 before Hasbro tries to figure out a scale for Energon Universe. They don't give a fuck. If anybody else had the licenses to all three of those lines, they'd have done it already. Absolutely, they'd have done it already. Brandon R. says, the Tron ride at the Magic Kingdom is excellent. Isn't it at Epcot? No, it's not at Epcot. I don't know. Only Tron thing I ever made it to the end of. Womp, womp. There you go, right there. Fucking Miley Mayhem. Are we going to do Miley Mayhem? I'm missing a reel in here. Oh, damn it. I am. I'm going to have to rectify that. I apologize. I was going to bust out a Nightmare Fuel clip, and I don't have it. Takara actually has made hundreds of figures to scale with Transformers. Yeah, they did. You can even get third-party weapons and accessories to fit them. Hasbro says they can't sell them in the U.S. because of safety. Yeah, they also say that that's the reason why their classified accessories are so gummy when you don't see any other toy lines doing that. Even some of their own lines. Yeah. That's right. They did. That's why a lot of the G1 vehicles have cockpits and no figure. Cockpit. Mm-hmm. Buzz Lightyear had figures at retail at the same scale. They sure did. Mother Slug says, look at the bigger picture. If small Mask Hurricane sells for $85, you know how much Boulder Hill base would cost. $450 easily. Yeah. I mean, Loyal Subject can't do HasLabs, but it would probably be a crowd fund. Just wouldn't be called HasLab. Yep. Gerard O'Connor, man, I love the Mask cartoon toys. The Wildcat's freaking awesome, but wow, the cartoon is a hard revisit. Some of them are pretty freaking bad. It's the same thing with the Sunbow Joe stuff. A lot of times we look at things through rose-tinted glasses. You know, the nostalgia gets us more than the reality. And we watch these cartoons. You guys remember when Scott and T-Bob stole the Switchblade? Yeah. Some of that stuff is weak. And Slyrax is like, it's like that weird 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Slyrax is doing a really bad Christian Slater impression, who always did a really bad Jack Nicholson impression. It's not great. It's not great. Possible Pie says, the ramen toys, Machina, vehicles look incredible. Yes, they do. Obviously, they're going to be more expensive because it's very indie, right? Almost boutique, very independent. I'm not going to sing that. You know what'll fuck you up real good? Get the Mask music, but sing the words to Gem. Or vice versa. Get the Gem music. Whoa, Mask is truly outrageous. It'll mess you up. Just word salad all that together. Nico says there's no chance of Hasbro 1/12th Energon universe. No vehicles, no transforming robots in scale. Going to have to be 3D printed. Again, fans doing the work. Yeah, if you want it, if you want this stuff so bad, just get into 3D printing. Make stuff out of nothing. I don't know. Use zeros and ones and a bunch of spools of magical plastic shit. Oh, it's in Tomorrowland. Thank you, Hendo. Last time I was down there, it was still under construction. Heard it's extremely short. Probably the appeal for you Tron haters. Lol. I don't hate Tron. I love Tron. I still watch the OG Tron all the time. And look, man, there is no better feeling than walking into an arcade, a real arcade, and just not even seeing the cabinet, but through all the noise, hearing that diddle 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 do diddle do diddle do, and you know, go find that cabinet. I love that frickin' Tron arcade game. Jim Largo says, with Factory Entertainment going gaga over 11880s action figures, do you think we might see Megaforce? You know, somebody asked me to put a bug in a certain guy's ear from Singapore who makes a line of toys that we've talked about numerous times today regarding Megaforce. And I did. So, I don't know. Everybody knows I'm a Megaforce stan. That's all there is to it. Chad, did you see the Ramen 118 scale Airwolf? Any thoughts on it? I've seen the Ramen 118 Airwolf since the very first renders started coming out. Yeah. It's amazing. And I think that speaks a lot about Ace because of all the things that Ace could make with Ramen toy. He chose to make that 118 scale Airwolf because of all the people that got effed over by that Kickstarter where they took the money and ran. That's why he did Airwolf in 118 scale. Not saying there won't be an Airwolf in 112 scale. There might not. Stand by. I'm not going to say anything more than that, but we'll just leave it at that. Deke, the search for more money. The problem with Deke was that there was no money, and that's thanks to the executives at Hasbro. When you have no money to throw at like Griffin Bacall and, you know, Marvel, Sunbow, that's what you get. Deke comes in and they're like, we'll do it for like pennies on the fucking dollar. 610, what's up, brother? Mask what people wear to disguise their true identity, like a guy disguising himself as a woman claiming to be one.
Chad, how insensitive of you.
I didn't say it. He said it, but I laughed at it. Yes, it is insensitive of me. No, you're not kidding. I know you're not kidding, and you shouldn't be kidding because that's accurate. Yeah, 100%. Sci-Fi Swamp Man says 46 minutes. I'm still on hold. Sounds about right for the Veterans Administration. Bring on the 1/18 scale Gladiator ring with Impact T-Bob and GoBot's Scooter. That would be a good poll. Who would win, Scooter or T-Bob? See, I like the polls and the widgets because I can see them. I don't like putting a poll in the chat. Anyway, that's just me. Hendo says, I tested a bunch of 90s cartoons with my nephews, SWAT Cats, Skeleton Warriors, Pirates of Darkwater. Pirates of Darkwater, that was a pretty serious cartoon. Made me a very proud uncle that day. That's awesome, dude. Very cool. Yeah, that's the thing with Disney, right? The admission. It's ridiculous. You want to talk about price gouging? It's like, yeah, the parks, the CEO who's in charge of parks, I guess vice president or whatever, at Disney probably has daily conversation with Chris Cox over at Hasbro. I asked about Megaforce 2 days ago. Well, there you go, Mother Slug. You asked, put it in my ear. I put it in somebody else's ear, and we'll see how it goes. Kevzilla is a huge Tron fan. One could say that Kevzilla is a Megatron fan. No, I liked it. Glad to see Airwolf is 1/18 scale. Yeah, absolutely. Possible Pie said, I'd love to see Blue Thunder in 1/18 scale. It did get made. It was very boutique, but there is a 1/18 scale Blue Thunder. Guaranteed. 100%. Good to see many proud users on this grid. Yeah, man. The original Tron is fucking awesome. Okay, so everybody's saying Scooter would win. We didn't even have to put it in a poll. Scooter. Megaforce. Did you say Megaforce?
Even if your name is Chad, the good guys always win, even in the 80s.
Barry Bostwick's so freaking awesome. We talked for a long time. So the Crimson Twins are actually Hasbro executives? They would probably run Hasbro better. I mean, let's be real, right? I think that they would. 100%. Yeah. Kenzo says those new Skeleton Warriors look pretty damn good. It will sell better because of that cult that follows Four Horsemen. Isn't that the color gang? Somebody's going to take that out of context. People will buy without even knowing the cartoon. Probably. Yeah, probably. Could I get away with watching Tron Legacy without watching the original? Or should I give the original a try? I hear it's hard to get through. You could, but a lot of the stuff in Tron Legacy wouldn't have the impact that it would had you watched the first one first. That was horrible sentence structure. Watch the first one, then watch Legacy. That's my argument. There's characters in the first one that reappear in the second one more than just your main character. I don't want to be too on the nose about it, but yeah. Hendo says, my family switched to Universal Studios a few years back. No raggarts and no going into debt like some of my generation's wackos. Yeah, that's the thing with Disney, right? It's all that nostalgia stuff. Oh, but I want to go to Disney because I remember riding Pirates of the Caribbean when I was a kid. Ugh. Okay. So you go to any Disney park, you hit the greatest hits. I mean, they don't even have fucking Splash Mountain anymore. Again, thanks to the fucking leftist cancel pigs. Everything has to be, you know, like Anita Sarkeesian. Everything has to be insulting. And that Tiana's Bayou shit doesn't even work. But again, the Imagineers at Disney now are not the Imagineers at Disney from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. It's the same thing with Egyptians. You look at people in Egypt now, you think they could build pyramids? No, they don't even put mortar in between their bricks. Fuck no. Yeah. Yeah, Pi, give the first one a shot, man. It's pretty awesome. Especially if you make it to the third movie, you have to watch the first one to see the third one. Right, just because of the grids. You got to do it. Truth. Fictional characters could run a company better than Cox. Chris Cox. Cox. Yeah, you know what I mean. They're a gang and they go by the name of a color. Yeah. Dan, what's up, brother? It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Last Starfighter. Oh my God. Did anybody see that freaking Gunstar toy? I don't want to get too far afield, but if I had the money, I would buy that Gunstar. I mean, that would just be like a frivolous purchase because it's a fucking Gunstar, but I'm not going to put it with my Joe collection. New Splash Mountain was shit. I hated it so much. It's called Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Thank you, sir. It's not called Splash Mountain because Splash Mountain is Rossicist. Yeah, there's a Gunstar toy. Absolutely. Yeah, well, they're making a second Last Starfighter. I saw the title for it, and then I forgot what it is. George Aiken, it's good to see you all the way from the United Kingdom. Thank you for being here, my good sir. Good sir. Rule of thumb. Any civilization that still burns animal dung for fuel probably won't be building any megalithic structures. No, no, they won't. So, I mean, they just throw trash out the windows. Pathfinder Bill, what's happening? Afternoon? Good to see you. Running late, but wanted to say Gizmo Duck could whoop T-Bob 100%. Gizmo Duck would stomp T-Bob's ass. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the input. Kevzilla says, I want that Gunstar. Give me Grig and Alex figures to go with it. Yeah. I hope the sequel's going to be good. Yeah. Of course they are. Every movie is getting a sequel. Serious that what it's sequel series. That's what it seems like. Look, they've all run out of ideas, and they're all risk averse. They don't want to create new stuff. I'm going to get into a conversation that I had with somebody. It was just a real quick back and forth. It wasn't like any serious earth shattering conversation, but somebody at Hasbro today. That's when we get into the whole Joe stuff. Yeah. Blather Sky. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on. I'm going to get into this. Let's get this off the screen. Goodbye. Go away. Hey, remember how I said I had to make some assets? Comment of the day. Every day we're going to have a comment of the day. Again, it could be from one of these streams. It could be from a video. It could be from Instagram, Facebook, whatever. This comment was on Sunday's stream after Stuttering Craig from Side Scrollers had to go do family stuff. And this is DL Racer 2. He said, question, from Chad to Chad, because, we're Chads. What is the mission statement / goal for the Hollywood activists that are trying to emasculate men and introduce inappropriate identity politics and feminism? So I kind of went down the rabbit hole a little bit on this, and I started looking for, like serious articles, not opinion pieces from like the fucking Mary Sue, right? But real articles. Yeah, that Battlestar toy line is freaking out of control. Matt Noon, what's up, brother? Hope you're all having a great day. Just picked up Super 7 Arctic Commando Snake Eyes. I'm digging how he's just commando weapons, no ninja sword, little different. Yeah. Does he have the weasel skull necklace that he got from Quinn? If you know, you know. I don't think I remember seeing him with the weasel skull necklace on. Anywho, moving on. So this is something that DL Racer, just kind of put from him to me, and it just kind of went into the chat. And then, so I wanted to kind of talk about this in particular, but I got a couple of articles that I found, and some of these they're pretty interesting. And then there's a few little video clippies. So this article is from Slate, How Media is Failing Young Men, really talking about this new generation of, boys, young adults, and how they don't really have like male role models. Are young men okay? That's a question that seems to be on many a mind, right? Many minds these days, as conversations about gender, sexuality, and what it means to be a man reach a fever pitch in media and beyond. A large part of that discourse revolves around an apparent dearth of relatable, inspiring, and adequate male role models for young men to aspire to. But what even is adequate male role model? And part of that is, when you look at causality, there's like that, initial, secondary, and tertiary kind of order of effects of things. A lot of these writers, we see it in comics, we see it in gaming, absolutely in gaming. It's all about injecting ideologies. And when you're so busy thinking that men being masculine is a bad thing, they use that T word, which it's just a pathetic word. But they want to create this term called toxic masculinity because they don't understand what masculinity is in the first place. They just think, patriarchy bad, big strong man bad, things like that. According to National Research Group, an international strategy firm that conducts studies relating to the entertainment and technology industries, we're facing a masculinity crisis in which today's boys and young men are being fed contradictory cultural signals about masculinity. I tried to find an article from NRG, and I couldn't find it. But they explore this cultural siren in a recent study titled Hero Complex. Again, I couldn't find that study at all, for which the organization polled 1,250 young men ages 8 to 30. So it's a pretty good range on where they look for male role models and how they feel about what they find there. One finding, only 52% of young men polled claim to have real people in their lives to act as their role models, while 26% said they found role models in fictional characters and 21% in public figures and celebrities. So there you go, right there. Right off the bat, only 52% of young men polled claim to have real people in their lives to act as male role models, because we're talking about masculinity and male role models. A lot of that goes back to, socioeconomic things like broken homes, this whole like single mom raising everybody. And a lot of that is on the fathers too, right? But some divorced dads get the shit end of the stick. For a long time, it was if you got divorced and you were a male, you were pretty much giving up all your rights as a parent. And this is kind of the side effects of things like that. LeBron James doesn't belong in that picture. No, probably not, but George Aiken, completely off topic. I wonder how much I can buy the Star Wars IP for after that Grogu movie. $10? $10? Yeah, probably. Yeah, the 25th one has the weasel necklace. I was asking if the fucking Reaction Plus one does. Anyway, 610 says toxic is only an evil word when not in front of Avenger. I like the Toxic Avenger. 100%. I want to say that's the first time I ever saw boobs. Where's Toxic Avenger? Yeah. Wasn't there a Soviet Cold War era propaganda program designed to infiltrate American college classrooms? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that former KGB agent, I forget his name right now, Nikolai. Bleh. Yeah, he went on a talk show and just laid it all out, and people didn't even bat an eye, like they thought he was full of shit. Yeah. Anyway, so this is just kind of part of what he was asking and what I wanted to talk about. I don't know why it highlighted in pink. Maybe I'm feeling a little frisky today. But then you have the flip side of it. Again, right? There's always going to be two sides to stuff. That's right. Yuri Bezmenov. That's right. I believe it's with a Z, but yes, that's exactly who he is. Thank you very much. I had a quote from him on a video, and it's somewhere in a folder. Edward, what's up? First time catching a live stream. Everybody, do me a favor. Show Edward how awesome you are and welcome him to his first time catching a stream live. This is for you.
Wolverines!
Wolverines. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Edward. Thanks for being here, dude. See, look, everybody's going to welcome you in. Action Joe Figs, what's up, my man? I'm enjoying my last full summer break off. Got to report back tomorrow. Womp, womp. Sorry to hear that, dude. I am very, very sorry to hear that. So again, this is looking at it from a perspective of where are the positive male role models? Where's the masculine men? Not with that bullshit word in front of it, like real masculinity. Now this, this is that fourth wave feminism bullshit right here. You go, boy, the fight against toxic masculinity in Hollywood. Because again, I got asked, right, what's the deal with Hollywood's war against masculinity? And, you know, this kind of all tells you what you need to know right off the bat. As soon as I saw this, I was like, are we sure this isn't from the Mary Sue? But no, it's not. It's not from the Mary Sue. I thought it was. There's just a certain part of this article that I really wanted to read. All of it is exactly what you think it's going to be, right? It's just fucking fourth wave feminist bullshit. So, for every Huck Finn, there was a Nancy Drew. Every horrible Harry had a Junie B. Jones. As a society, we are drawn to this cyclical operation of relatable plot lines because they are specific, which begs for a gender split in the genre. Yeah. There are not enough boy coming of age movies. Let's make one. Years later, a new person says there are so many coming of age boy movies. We need to blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Someone is always going to be upset. One side will feel underrepresented one way or another. Hortense Smith for Jezebel wrote about the scarcity of women's coming-of-age films in the fall of 2008. The relationship shared between the boys seems so real, so true. Well, that's because genetically, women kind of hate each other just because going all the way back to when, you know, we lived in caves and stuff. Yeah. How many of us know women that hate other women, that hate all other women? Yeah. You forget that you're watching young actors. You feel as if you get to know what it's like to be an adolescent boy. How do these women know what it's like to be an adolescent boy? Yet there isn't an equivalent for girls. This was only a few years after Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Fuck. Recently, women have been blessed with the creation of Greta Gerwig in Lady Bird and Little Women. Cringeworthy perfection, blah, 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 blah. And then it just goes on to talk about gender roles and ideologies and just wacky shit. Here you go. Society has ignored. See, this one highlights in blue. It doesn't highlight in gay pink. Society has ignored the importance of non-traditional gender roles. And the fight against, there's the words, toxic masculinity, unironically using those words together. Some movies portray it well, but we need more. I'm not going to read it like that. That's weak. There are a few recent exceptions to the female coming of age rule. One standout film is a Moonlight, blah, blah, blah. Here you go. Excellently portrays male vulnerability while critiquing the usual masculine tropes through physical violence. Yeah. There are no solid depictions of boyhood. This is a good challenge to rise to. It's men's emotions are being portrayed in more complicated ways. Look, this is that bullshit. Hollywood is finally recognizing that by portraying the same masculine trope, they are not doing themselves or others any good. Hollywood hates masculinity. And again, that goes back to look at how men are treated and written in gaming, in comics. They're a different medium, but they're smaller, so they can pivot faster than, you know, a big machine like Hollywood's going to pivot. Hollywood doesn't turn on a dime. But you see, look at Kratos and God of War, cucked. Look at Marcus Phoenix and his team in Gears of War, cucked. Look at what they did with fucking Assassin's Creed, made it woke. On and on and on and on and on. Even the new Halo Combat Evolved, right? You see the whole girl boss thing going on there, but they just have a serious problem with masculinity. Yeah. So I just wanted to show all of you that. Then I got a couple of little vidges to share. Hopefully you guys can hear the audio on this. I really liked this clip. I downloaded it. I'm going to show this one right here. So let me know that you guys can hear this okay. Okay. Well, it didn't even show it. That's weird. It only has that screen on. Okay. So those tabs don't like to allow me to move it around. Here we go. Sorry. Yeah, that kind of is that bullshit, right? Mother Slug says Orange County Housewives and The View, great examples of women hating women. Talk about real housewives of anything. Yeah, they fricking hate each other. 100%. Rosie the Riveter was a form of propaganda used during World War II to encourage women to join the workforce and support the war effort. It was never meant to be hijacked by feminists. Yeah, I got a Rosie the Riveter right there. Boom, with the bombers. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. That definitely helped us win the war. Ooby Dooby. Worst girlfriend I ever had was one of those women haters. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Wolverines, hell yeah, man. Didn't a Call of Duty use Yuri in one of their trailers a while back? I don't know. I couldn't tell you, honestly. Do you remember when real men would help a woman in the gym if she couldn't do something? Then that movement happened, and now they're like, please help. Nope. Yeah, you made the common man a bad guy. It's not just helping women in the gym. How many of you ever experienced you hold a door for people? It doesn't matter who's behind you. You just hold the door for them, or you open the door for people, and then you get greeted with disdain because you're just trying to be civil or courteous or whatever. It doesn't mean you're trying to be like toxic masculine chivalry. Oh, so bad. You're just holding a door for somebody. You're opening a door for anybody. It doesn't matter. That shit happens all the time. I deal with this crap on a daily basis with certain fellow teachers. Yeah, I bet, especially in the education profession, because a lot of them just want to indoctrinate kids. Sunny Hostin exposed her entitlement recently after her son was arrested. She's she's a piece of fucking work. Billy D says, if you want to see what marketers and media think about men, just watch any commercial. Yep. Yeah, the whole bumbling idiot thing. I got a couple of clips that I was going to show. Yeah. Yep. Bumbling idiot with fix-it-all women. It's grown into all other forms of media as a marketing strategy. That is absolutely true. Yeah, I still open doors, hold doors for people. I mean, whatever. That's just courtesy. That's common courtesy. But you get treated like, you're some kind of Neanderthal and shit like that because, we're not allowed to be. Cooking with Eric. That's happened to me at the gym, holding a door for a woman. She deliberately took the other door. That would fucking irritate me. I mean, that's like you're trying to do something courteous for anybody. It doesn't matter, right, that it's a female. You're just doing something courteous, and that's what you get met with? Fuck that. HGC, I have arrived to hold the door for everyone. You have arrived just in time to see this bitch. Oh, not only you, Gonzo, and James Lucas, you all get welcomed in with the Bush Wookie. Yeah. HGC, I live in a region where you are shunned for life if you don't hold the door. But see, that's another extreme. And this is something that I talk about all the time when it comes to like people injecting their bullshit politics and ideologies into our hobbies. This doesn't necessarily relate to the hobbies, but it relates to the whole one extreme or another. Extremes in any direction are not good. Sure, holding doors for people is courteous. Being shunned and somebody going to get another door because I don't need no man, girl power, sisters before misters, that's fucking bullshit. Being shunned because you don't hold a door, that's kind of bullshit too. So, yeah. Edward says, that scares me. You're welcome. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Crystal clear, a girl I dated 20 years ago had a massive issue with me either getting the door on the car or any store we went to. Needless to say, that didn't last long. McQueen. Oh, speaking of which, I'm rewatching Game of Thrones, and I'm at that point where Jon Snow is always like McQueen to Daenerys. I open doors for the ma'am. I hold doors for the ma'am. I always will. Mother Slug says, we all grew up as gentlemen. Respect your elders and women. Wolverines. Hell yeah. Yep. Just say no to Bush. Exactly. Especially Bush Wookiees. Chivalry isn't dead. It's just held in reserve for women who deserve it. I'd agree. Dirty South sweet tea door holding go Braves shitty traffic life. Woo! I'm gonna go with door holding and leave all the rest. Especially the Braves, man. Get the fuck out of here. Just kidding. No, Mother Slug, that's a hard no. You do your thing, but whatever. Mr. Boof, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. If I had a choice which state to live in, I'd choose a red state all day, every day. Lower taxes, better business opportunities, lower crime. No revolving door policies. It's quantifiable. I mean, you can't argue numbers. Yeah, absolutely. I used to live in a red state. Now I no longer do. So James Lucas says, I am always polite and courteous until given a reason why I shouldn't, or the person isn't worth it. Absolutely. Right. Yeah. I believe in, you get the energy that you give, but as soon as somebody gives you that bullshit energy, then you just got to fucking turn it on. Right. Kill him with kindness is fucking, that's garbage. Impossible Pie, I'm shocked any woman would be mad a man would hold the door. Women love that stuff. Rational women do. Shallow, bullshit, fourth wave feminist man haters, fuck no. They do not like that stuff at all. They think that you're like, acting in a way that like looks down on them or something. Oh, Eric's behind enemy lines in California. Damn, I'm sorry, dude. I don't know. We might see a change over there. Maybe. Bear 11 Charlie, I'm lucky that I live in a smaller town and haven't had any issues opening doors for people. That's good, man. I'm glad to hear it. I see your guys' comments, man. HGC says, I had a talk with the wife about how George Martin wrote himself into a corner, can't finish that story because, and keeps writing side quest prequel stories. Well, yeah, I mean, he never finished the books. He lives here in New Mexico. He lives in Santa Fe. Whatever. Fuck that guy. And that's why season 8 of the show sucks. Anyway, moving on. Let's see if I can. Okay. I want you guys to check this clip out. Somebody let me know you can hear it. Browncoat, what's up, man? Good to see you. What the ass? Sorry. I'm using the right browser. I don't know what to tell you. No sound, no audio. On purpose? No, it's not on purpose. Fuck it. Look at that. We'll just remove it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. 0 acoustics. Say again, all after play button. Ooby Dooby says, I live in a red state on top of a red state. Unfortunately, the nearest city is blue as Cobra, College Town. Yeah, well, College Town, right? Yeah. Please, Chad, go tell Mr. George R. Martin to finish his fucking books. No. Browncoat, what's up, brother? I'm home from the doctor and can enjoy the stream with you fine people. Hope you're all having a great day. I am. It's good to see you, my man. Thank you very much. Jim Largo says, Chad, your flag patch on your hat looks like it's missing a few stars. Are those the left coast states that fell off the turnip truck? This is my OG, very old IR flag that I wore on my sleeve downrange. So, yeah, we're just going to say it's New York because they're fucking lost. I don't know, Connecticut, the entire tri-state fucking, I don't know, California, Oregon, Washington. Yeah. Look, man, this patch has sentimental value. I got a lot of stories with this patch. This patch has seen more shit than most people will ever see in their entire fucking life. No, the volume was all the way up. I don't know what the problem is, but sorry. We'll just, we'll just let it go. Not a big deal. Bobby Valla made the jump to North Carolina. It won't be long before Valaverse headquarters moves here as well. That is correct. Yep, absolutely. In fact, I was just talking to the behind the scenes guy this morning. Robert Jordan at least left detailed notes for his wife and Sanderson to finish Wheel of Time, and he had cancer. Martin is just a poopy head. Oh, look, as soon as Game of Thrones took off and George R. Martin became like a celebrity, that's all he cared about being was a celebrity. He just fucking stopped writing. I like the fact that we can just switch gears on this daily show and talk about Songs of Ice and Fire and whatnot. Father Son Galaxy, what's up, brother? Dropping in, stuck on overtime. Mandatory replay. Replay squad is always loved. Thank you, my friend, for being here. Were we talking about Tropic Thunder? No, we're not talking about Tropic Thunder. we're not talking about that other stuff either. Slade says, I had to dip out. I see you have on your IR patch. Yeah, fuck yeah, man. Yeah, my IR patch lives on my this is my old school fucking operator's cap. Old school. Yeah. This thing's from 2010. Yeah. I've worn this thing on, I think, 4 continents at least. At least. And a couple of weird-ass fucking island nations. Bear 11 Charlie, I still have my IR flag patches and all are beat to hell. Yeah, they're supposed to be, right? Because they go through more work than most people do in their entire lives. Don't hate on us East Oregonians. No, I don't, Pathfinder Bill. Not on the East Oregonians. And that's kind of the problem, right? There's good people everywhere. Everywhere you go. You can't just say, like, all of California sucks ass. But it's the people in those fucking pockets, right? The dense city centers where all the crime and trash and illegals and, you know, homelessness, drugs, gang violence. Yeah, it's those areas that just ruin beautiful places. My biggest problem with the last season of Game of Thrones is how quickly Khaleesi changed. She was showing streaks of it in season 6 and 7, especially in 7, right? I mean, she torches the fucking Tarleys. Yeah. She has her moments. Hey, speaking of Tropic Thunder, both my mini-me's got to watch it for the first time last weekend. They kept looking at me for all the quotables and memes. It was glorious. Oh. Tears of joy. That's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear it. Speaking of Song of Ice and Fire, I need to get on the 3rd season of House of the Dragon. Bro. Here's an It's Chad mini review of season 3 of House of the Dragon. Starts off amazing. First 3 episodes, all bangers. Then it's a fucking total snooze fest. You spend every episode waiting for anything to happen that isn't a fucking conversation in a dark room. There's not even boobs. Where's the boobs in House of the Dragon? Forget it. Kenzo says, speaking of mask, I really like that Scott and T-Bob always made sure to... Mother...
Just checking in. Have you drank water today? Did you eat? Did you take your meds?
Sneaky boy. I love it, man. I freaking love it. When you look down, it's like you don't have a neck. Your beard mixes with you, except for this. Yeah. It's a little creepy. I don't know. It's a little creepy. Sci-Fi Swamp Man. I finally watched Tropic Thunder because of all of you. Dude, it's such a good movie, man. They could never make a movie like that again. That being said, the actor who played Al Pacino, he approached Ben Stiller with a really good idea for a sequel. And it breaks down like this. He was on some podcast and he was talking about it. I saw a short. He said that the pitch he gave to Ben Stiller was because they tried to make Tropic Thunder, that studio went out of business. And so they want to make a proper movie because they never actually made the movie, right? So that's why they had the documentary Tropic Blunder at the end when Tug Speedman finally wins an award. They want to make a proper movie to save that studio or that production company, and they have to get Les Grossman and blah, blah, blah. And I thought it was a good pitch, but even Ben Stiller was like, there's no way we can make that movie today. So womp womp. The fucking movie is so good. Everything about it is amazing. Lord of the Rings is British mythology. What's American mythology? Original Star Wars, Dune, Smokey and the Bandit? Yeah, sure. I mean, I know what American exceptionalism is. I don't know about American mythology. Does our country even go back far enough to have mythology? I don't know about mythology. Yeah, that's kind of splitting hairs. I know we own the moon times 5. We happen to show a certain country the sun twice. We're back-to-back World War II champs or World War champions, and we don't take no shit. Bear 11 Charlie says the mountains of Afghanistan had a tendency to tear equipment. Oh, man, 100%. I mean, like, yeah. I love talking with people about Afghanistan. They're like, they had snow? And I'm like, yeah. You ever seen any of those mountain ranges? No. Like, you could go from the desert to like the greenest green, and then next thing you know, you're in like 3 feet of snow, all in the span of like a day. It's crazy. 2003 paracord lives on my wrist. Bury me with it. I dig that. Only thing I ever use. Well, no, I do have a paracord braid on my assault pack. Cordage is one of your 5 C's of survival. So if you can wrap paracord on something, by all means do it. Bigum, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. No, none. I think maybe like for like a blink and you miss it in season 1, but yeah. Dan, what's up, dude? That sounds like the review from the first season of House of the Dragon. I think that's every season of House of the Dragon. Speaking of no boobs, ladies and gentlemen, our good friend Laser Pants is here. What's up? And he says, no boobs? I'm out.
It's science, people! Science!
Yes. There are none in House of the Dragon. Yeah, you're forgetting about that she did show some signs. You're talking about Daenerys Targaryen, Breaker of Chains, Mother of Dragons, whatever, fucking queen bullshit on Turd Hill, grass, green lands, whatever. Tropic Thunder is gold. There'll never be another movie like Tropic Thunder, frickin' ever. That also scares me, says Edward. They're supposed to. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to change the name of the show from Mandatory Fun to Mandatory Boobs. Then I will stay shadow banned on YouTube forever. Yeah. When does Cher take Rocky Dennis to Boulder Hill? What? Freaking oi. House Hendo says populating the coasts was required to become maritime and in general a superpower. Problem is everyone dismissed the Universe 25 experiments. All we got from it was Secret of Nim. Secret of Nim is awesome. Just saying. Not saying, just saying. You guys remember the owl? That owl was creepy as shit. Lincoln Osiris is a dude who loves Wolverine. Wolverines. Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. It would be gold if Robert Downey Jr. said that in Avengers Doomsday. Oh, could you imagine? No way. It would break the fucking world. Oh, yes. There was a short mockumentary that came in the steel box with the movie. And yeah. That's so the clips of Robert Downey Jr. still in character as another character, those were part of that mockumentary. So you can find some of the clips, but you need to find the entire mockumentary. It's freaking hilarious. Comic book characters are our mythology. I've done lectures on this. You know, I'll agree with that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Modern American mythology. Sure. There's actually some universities that teach, all about Star Wars and things like that. Sure. We used to be the original Egypt. Yes, it was here. America has more discovered pyramids. That's true. Yeah, there are more pyramids in the Americas than there are in Egypt. Yeah, there's more pyramids in lots of countries than there are in Egypt. Egypt just has the 3 most popular pyramids. I just want more Les Grossman. Who doesn't want more Les Grossman? He's freaking awesome. Paul Bunyan, Pecos Bill, and John Henry are American folklore. Is Bigfoot American folklore? Because it like once you start getting into like cryptozoology and things like that, I don't know if Bigfoot is American folklore because the Yeti, it's a worldwide thing. Just me. I don't know. Impossible Pie. Flexing. If there's no boobs, it's not worth watching. Pathfinder Bill, the mid to late 19th century American West and the Greatest Generation are part of American mythology. I would say American history. I don't mythology, you know, the like what's myth, what's not, you know, Atlantis, things like that. I don't honestly know. I need to stop being engaged in this show and go back to work. Do you though? Do you? I don't know, man. We're just kind of hanging out. House Hendo says I still have pictures of me in the snow on Bagram. Civvies lose their minds when they hear about J-Bad. Yep. That is true. I'm not even going to read this. I'm just going to leave it on the screen for a second, if anybody cares. More than okay, we're getting away from this. Yeah, Pedro Pascal. I didn't mind him as the Red Viper of Dorne, but that's when Pedro Pascal was a little more comfortable showing just how fucking fruity he really is. IRL, if you know, you know. But then, I don't know, as his star kind of rose, he sort of hit it. We all know. Hashtag Sydney Sweeney's Meat Puppets. Sweater puppies? I don't know. I believe that the quote is a nutless monkey could do your job. I believe that's the quote. Actually, yeah. Round 2 thunderstorm is starting. Lights are flickering. If you don't hear, get it. Bring back sweater puppies to American cinema. It's mostly HBO holding it down. If you know, you know. Pedro Pascal loves pooping backwards. Yeah, we all know why. Packers, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Just popping in quick to say hi. Hope everyone's having a good time. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you for popping in. Pedro Pascal was good in Narcos. I didn't mind him in Fantastic Four. I did not see either. I will take your word for it as your opinion. Yeah. I did like him as the Red Viper. I was just pointing out the fact that he was not shy about the fact that he's, you know, fucking a $3 bill. If Doomsday film follows the comic book, that means Iron Man will show up. Curious how that will work. Do we want to get into this? Do we? Aren't all the spoilers that Doctor Doom is actually an alternate, one of the other dimensions, Tony Stark, adopted by the Von Dooms? That's what I read. But you know what? At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck because I won't watch it. I won't go like out to the theater. I won't go seek it out in a movie theater. I have zero interest in anything MCU anymore. I haven't watched an MCU movie since Endgame. And even Endgame was shit. It just wrote a lot of hype. Sasquatch Bigfoot was always tied to natives for me. Like American Indian lore? Is that what you mean? By natives? I don't know any natives. I know a lot of American Indians. So, yeah. The kids know where I get "we don't negotiate with terrorists" line from. Yeah. Go ahead, do your thing. Skin the fucker. Go to town. Yeah, that's such a great line. All of that. It just his whole binding resolution to keep me from. James Lucas, Dreadnought, still painful and not great. Oh, okay. Sorry. Gotcha. Some amazing friends like Chad and Nico and others. My stress is going down. Yeah, we're all here for you, dude. We're all here for you. Jim Largo says there seems to be a correlation between the decline of masculine movie stars and the soy boy epidemic. Coincidence? Yeah, no, it's intentional. Fourth wave feminists hate masculine men. They don't like traditional roles. You know, men as the protectors, as providers, the hunter-gatherer kind of thing. They don't like it. They can't fucking stand it. So, yeah. 100%. And that's why there is a war against men. It's been there for a while. The dots were connected later. Bigfoot and Yeti were completely separate till phones and radio. Hello, Pennsylvania 65000. Yeah. Connected the original crypto bros. Furry giant legends in my tribe go back centuries. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, stories of those creatures, some considered people, spirits, whatever. Yeah, thousands of years. James Lucas said, Packer, stop following me. Stop following me. Pathfinder Bill says, without those eras, we would never have dime store novels of Jesse James. The golden age of comics was where I was going. Oh, okay. I understand. Gotcha. Words. 100%. Wait till I have one of my moments between here and here, and I just stop talking and I stare at the camera. It's, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend Jesse from JLS Comics says, maybe it's actually Tony Stank.
I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime-ins. Gone.
Just kidding. I love you. I know that Hydra Cap in the comics, Captain Hydra or whatever, was written that he could lift Thor's hammer, but I don't like that idea at all. I mean, but Captain America's only there to fight ICE agents, don't you know? You got to listen to all the toy activists. Captain America only does their bidding because they're on the right side of history. You got to listen to them. Fuck Captain America. Especially fuck Chris Evans. You want to talk about like drank all the fucking communist Kool-Aid? Chris Evans. Giving a shit about the MCU is way over for me. Yeah, man. You write a line in a movie, Black Girl Magic, you completely lost the fucking plot. Yeah. But again, Disney bought, they bought all that stuff that, you know, Jon Favreau and Ike Perlmutter and all of them started. And then they buy Star Wars, well, Lucasfilm. So they get Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Willow. They got all the MCU stuff. And they're like, we're going to make them all girl brands. That'll show them. Because, again, the war on masculinity. Forget it. Fucking bullshit. Jim Largo, I have zero interest in watching Doomsday. I'm just going to go back and read some 70s comic books. I just go back and reread fucking the whole Nightfall, Night Quest, Night's End. I will read that till the wheels fall off. Dreadnought says, I started watching He-Man because it was free and I made it through maybe 15 minutes. That's it? Really? Okay. Different strokes for different folks, my dude. I liked it. Nico says, our Tony will end up being a Von Doom. Now they're scheduling Iron Man 4. Lame. Actually, it's called rebooting, Chad. Actually, shut the fuck up. Sometimes you just gotta reboot the brain pan. Yeah, the old fucking brain housing group. I don't like to discuss it. I don't like to talk about it. I don't want to be seen as like a cripple and shit. So I don't, some of if you know, that's fine. Speaking of Bigfoot, says Impossible Pie, whether you believe in it or not, you must admit that suit in the old video is incredible. Well, that's just you saying you don't believe it was real. Hey, man, I believe in all sorts of shit. It is what it is. My first cryptid infatuation was a Loch Ness Monster. My dad was stationed in Scotland, but we never saw Nessie. Well, Nessie's also not the only example of that kind of a creature, right? Did Nessie ask your father for $350? I ain't giving no matzo, no $350. I am not fucking Captain America or Chris Evans. No, thank you. I don't believe I asked you to. I think you took my statement out of context. Do Dog Reviews toy activism is gay. It is gay. I don't have the clip. I don't have it on here. It kind of looks like this.
Hey, children of the earth. It's me, Hippie McTree Humper.
I'm just going to leave it at that. But yeah, I don't have the guy in the pink suit on Mandatory Fun. I'll have to rectify that. I just rewatched Armand Arsante's Odyssey mini series. I'm not giving Nolan money. Guess my opinion on Doomsday. I don't believe I have to. Look, I've heard people say the Odyssey is great. I've heard people say, it's just Nolan fucking, checking the DEI, ESG boxes so he can get awards considerations. I really don't care at the end of the day. We all have a penchant to be hypocritical. All of us are guilty of it to some degree or another at some point in our lives. And I try very hard to not. I have no interest in watching it. I'm not going to jump on the fucking anger train or any of that stuff. I think Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy is just laughable as fuck. Is that why I'm not going to see it? No. I'm not going to see it because I haven't seen a fucking Christopher Nolan movie in the theater since The Dark Knight. I don't think that Nolan is all that. I think he is way too hyped up. Most of his movies, they're either nonsensical at some point where it just breaks the rest of the film, or they just fucking drag. They drag. Like they insist upon themselves. You guys remember from Family Guy when Peter says he doesn't like The Godfather because it insists upon itself? That's how I feel about Christopher Nolan. So, yeah, Chris Evans being Cap meh, might as well be Big Mike. Big Mike Obama? Is that who we're talking about? I think Chris Evans is a good Steve Rogers. I think he's very good as Captain America, especially when you look at the character he played with Johnny Storm. Like, he has range. It all just goes back to that whole argument about ideologies, injecting your fucking bullshit into everything. Like Mark Ruffalo, I fucking can't stand Mark Ruffalo. I don't even like him as the Hulk. I don't. I like Edward Norton as the Hulk. But with all this from Mark Ruffalo, no. It even further, I just want to fucking push it away. That's just the reality of it. Yes, Dog. I agree. I agreed beforehand. I know you typoed it, but that's okay. Evan says he's playing Nomad. Wasn't he technically playing Nomad in Endgame? None of those movies are going to be that accurate to the source material anyway. I'm not even a Marvel comics person, but I've read enough of them to know, like, what they change and what they don't. Disney did an amazing job murdering 4 epic franchises. Yeah. Willow was so bad they shit canned it for the tax write-off. They disappeared it. Yeah. The miniseries Odyssey with Armando Sante is very good for a TV production. Yeah. I'd rather watch some old Sinbad shit. I mean, that's just me. Right? Remember the one with the fucking golden minotaur and the chick that turns into a seabird? Yeah. I heard what I heard, Sir Chaddington. Fucking yelling at me? Be yelling at me. I'll jump through this fucking screen at you. I know we've been talking about Citizen Vigilante lately, but does anyone actually recommend it? I do. We're talking about it tomorrow. That's tomorrow's like icebreaker topic, main topic, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's the thumbnail for tomorrow. Yeah. Citizen Vigilante. And a bunch of uncomfortable statistics. Tomorrow's probably going to be a little more serious. HGC says, it's okay. I stared at my dishwasher last night and called it the washing machine for 5 minutes, and the family is very confused. Good on you, my friend. At least I know I'm not the only one. Chad likes Champ. Oh, Champy? Lake Champlain? Sure. It's fine. It's all the same. Possible Pie says, I hope Doomsday is good and Spider-Man 2. You know what? I hope for you that they're good. How about that? I'm just going to say that. I always freely share my opinions, but I hope for you because you want them to be good. I hope that you enjoy them. Disney made most of our favorite Marvel heroes into a bunch of pussies. They sure did. Again, see back to the war on masculinity. The face that launched 1,000 ships. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Troy to Ithaca, New York is like 3 hours by car. So why did it take so long in the film?
What the hell is even that?
Thank you, Jesse. I always appreciate you and your candor. Asante also did a good job playing Napoleon Bonaparte. I was not tracking that. Just a smidge behind Rod Steiger. Interesting. I did not like the fucking Joaquin Phoenix. Ugh. Jesus. That's another person I can't fucking stand. Just because, again, like he's just too overhyped. I'd like to see the Odyssey, but I don't want to sit in a theater for 3 hours. Back in my day, my mother took me to see Lord of the Rings, Fellowship, right? The first movie. Because, her generation, she grew up reading the books and all that stuff. So she really wanted to go see Lord of the Rings. We left the theater and I was like, fuck, I felt like I was grounded. Like that was way too long. Way too long. Yeah. Ace's Place says, I want Cap to be Captain Hydra. I mean, no matter what, at the end of the day, you're just going to see a bunch of fucking try-hard heroes making bullshit, toy activism crap with it. Yeah, I can't fucking stand Mark Ruffalo. Pi says actors need to leave their beliefs to themselves. That, and Gene Simmons, he said it in the most Gene Simmons way possible. Like, shut the fuck up and just make your art. Nobody cares about your opinions. Weird. It's kind of how it is. Hendo says, I heard it's visually great, boring, and they trash some of my favorite characters from that epic, like Cersei and Calypso. Yeah, they made some interesting choices. But again, I don't necessarily. This isn't based on Homer's Odyssey. This is based on the modern fourth wave feminist retelling of the Odyssey. I don't know who's tracking that, and who's not, maybe it's just not discussed very often. It's not based on the old mythology. It's not based on the Greek mythology. It's based on the retelling of it. So any movie with Ray Harryhausen stop motion is worth a watch. Fuck yes. The original Clash of the Titans. That Medusa, first of all, boobs. She's amazing. I fucking love it. Chad, you're like 7 feet wide. You can't jump through my computer monitor. Look, if Santa Claus can come down your chimney, I can jump through your fucking computer monitor. Don't make me. Yay! Mandatory boobs and vigilantes. That'll be tomorrow. Is that I need to see Citizen Vigilante? Is it Chuches? I want to say it's Chuches. Yeah, okay. I need to see Citizen Vigilante. Gotcha. The only controversy, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, that's kind of tomorrow. The only controversy surrounding Citizen Vigilante is because the topics that it covers they're very relevant to what's going on in Western Europe today. That's it. Other than that, it's the same thing as Falling Down, V for Vendetta, fucking Law-Abiding Citizen. It's that same kind of movie. People don't like it because it covers topics that are actually happening. And it ruins the fucking diversity is our strength bullshit message. That's why I don't like it. That's why Larry Hama, the quote unquote godfather of G.I. Joe, which he's not, decided that he was going to talk a bunch of shit about it. Like, you know, he's done every fucking job on a major motion picture production, which he hasn't. If it wasn't about that, the message in the movie, Hama wouldn't even fucking mention it. So, ladies and gentlemen, none other than the almighty producer Scott Hughes. I jumped in at the right time. Citizen Vigilante is a better Punisher than MCU Punisher. Well, yeah, absolutely. John Bernthal's a shit Punisher. There was no crying in Citizen Vigilante. Plus, it's second only to the Thomas Jane Punisher. There you go. Producer Scott said so himself. I liked it. Armie Hammer's a fucking boss in that movie. And there's boobs. There's boobs in Citizen Vigilante. You know where there's not boobs? House of the fucking Dragon. So there you go. Yeah. No way. Nico, is that accurate? Doomsday's using AI? Whoa. James Lucas says Joaquin Phoenix is definitely overrated, but he does have some good movies. Not saying he doesn't have some good movies. I don't know. Anyway. Everybody's saying Ridley Scott screwed up that fucking Napoleon movie. It just sucked. I don't know. TJC, what is up, my friend? It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. I cannot wait. What is it? The 7th? August 7th? When the update comes out for Ghost Recon Wildlands. We got some new missions, man. We got to go into them blind. Chad, are you ever going to do a show on how you customize your 1/18 scale figures, modern and real American hero? I could. Yeah, I could. The thing about that is, like, you see like a JMK Custom Works where he's actually doing it on the streams. The thing with me and customs is it's very much almost like a religious experience for me. It's very much I tune everything out, and then I just work. Most of the custom videos that I have done before is like, oh hey, look, I already did this, or this is what I'm going to do, and then I go do it, and then I come back to the camera, and it's very edited. I could do a stream about customs. I would have to figure out how to do it. Yeah, customs are they're like a weird form of like therapy for me. So I don't know. I could think about it. I could. You mean Gene Simmons from Kiss? Yeah, the band that I can't stand. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh shit, ladies and gentlemen. Ghost Daddy himself is in the house. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. The funny thing is, to me, is Cersei, as written, was already set up for the fourth wave, and they just couldn't leave it alone on principle. No. You think she was really fourth wave feminism? I don't know. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was talking about, Titan. It's based on the Emily Watson, fourth wave feminist interpretation. It is not based on the original Greek mythology. Not even close. Yeah, I know it's an unpopular opinion with a lot of people. I don't give a shit. You know, everybody knows where I stand on Batman 89 and the Ninja Turtles, so I can't stand John Bernthal as a Punisher. I don't think any live action interpretation of the Punisher has gotten him right at all, period. So, yep. Also, Citizen Vigilante is heavy on the Heckler and Koch G36. I qualified on that sucker. Mm-hmm. Sure did. That's a not bad rifle. Will Chad be Demon, Starchild, Spaceman, or Catman in his Kiss tribute band? I guess by default, wouldn't I have to be the Catman? I would have to be the cat, right? Since I'm a drummer. Ladies and gentlemen, George Aiken is still here. Thank you for still being here, George. King Ding-a-lang. I kept replaying the ending for Citizen Vigilante. Totally surprised me how that all played out, right? If you know, you know. Did you guys hear they're considering or eyeing, I don't know, like where they actually are with that, Gina Carano for the sequel with Armie Hammer? I shared it on my story on Instagram, and I was like, do it, because every freaking leftist cancel pig, all their heads will explode. I hope they put Gina Carano in a sequel. Yeah, there was a Kiss midget cover band. Absolutely. What's your take on Batman Cape Crusader series, Chad? It's woke bullshit. Raise your hand if you're shocked by me saying that. No, fuck no, man. Why you got to gender swap all these characters? Nope. Thomas Jane is the best Punisher. Dirty Laundry is the best live action Punisher. Yep. But that was right. Very small indie. Yeah. Gina Carano was fucking awesome in Haywire. I like Haywire. Yeah. I would love to see her be in the sequel. Wait a sec. I had a sneeze fit. I'm sorry. I probably should have just played the Be Right Back, but that came on too quickly. Let's see. Jersey Shore Punisher cries too much. Yeah, buddy. Is that Bernthal? Is he the Jersey Shore Punisher? Yeah, buddy, says Paulie D. All I know is Uwe Boll is a shit-ass director. Not disagreeing with that. Come here. You want to say hi? Come here. Come on. Get up here. Come on. Come on. Hi. What do you look at? Say hi. You want to say hi? Hi, Odie. She has scars on her nose. Can you see the scars on her nose? It's from a cat. She likes to fight with cats. Anyway, she just wanted to come say hi to everybody. She misses all of you. Odie misses you all. Look at how savage she is. She's not. Yes, he is a shitty director. And the fact that people losing their shit over this movie is hilarious. Has anyone seen any other Uwe Boll movie? They are ass. It's not even a matter about the director. People are so mad about that movie just because of the topic, the subject matter. That's it. When Michael Douglas was doing it, you forgot the fucking briefcase. Same shit. Nobody cared. Just saying. It's just one of those movies about, people having enough and unraveling. TJC says Citizen Vigilante was scary for how real it is at the moment. Yeah, exactly. Isn't that the fucking point? That was 100% the point. Yep. George Aiken, speaking of Batman, they have announced they are filming The Batman 2 in Glasgow. I have no interest in Robert Pattinson as the fucking Dark Knight. None. Who banned Dreadnought? Not me. And my mods can't ban anybody. The most they can do is time somebody out unless he got timed out, which I really hope that wasn't the case. So, yeah, not me, my dude. But welcome. I don't ban shit. I don't time out shit either. Trust me, because I let the usual suspects, the fucking toy activist heroes, I let them come in here and show their ass all day long. I wouldn't do that. Chet Maddox, what's up, my friend? Good to see you, brother. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you very much. Browncoat says, I tried to watch the Cape Crusader series and couldn't get through one episode. I agree, Chad. Hot woke garbage. It fucking is. It absolutely is. There's no reason for the dumb ass decisions that they made for that show. Fuck that. You know what I got? You probably can't see. Oh, well, there's two of the volumes right there. I got every Batman, the animated series, Batman and Robin, The Adventure Continues, Justice League Unlimited. I'm good. Nope, don't need it. Don't need it, don't want it. 100% no. Yeah, everybody's saying hi to Odie. Yeah, she's a beautiful girl. Everybody, fucking Belgian Malinois, they're like great white sharks on land. No, so these are the people not surprised. My messages aren't going through, had to switch accounts. Was there a thing? Did a thing happen? I don't know. But look, I love having everybody around. I don't care. You guys should all know me. I'm not gonna time out anything or any of that stuff. Shane, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Ray Stevenson was the best Punisher. And Thomas Jane in Dirty Laundry. Took too long to do Punisher things. Yeah. I would say Ray Stevenson was I don't know. I don't like any of them. They don't lean into the secret organization. They don't get into any of that stuff. I don't like this whole weird thing with it's either a flak vest or it's some kind of like fucking cool guy body armor with the skull on it. I don't like it. I just don't like it. We had to wait until Batman v Superman to get a fucking Batman in black and gray where he's actually wearing a shirt. Yes, it's over armor, of course, but that's canonical for Batman in a lot of the comics. We had to wait until Batman v Superman for that suit. Like, what's so wrong with the Punisher suit? They can't do it. I don't know. Twinkle Batman was unwatchable and boring. Not gonna. No fucking interest. I have a thing for 1930s and 40s. That's totally cool. I get it. Love the animated series and even Spider Noir. Yeah. And that's one of the things that Paul Dini and those guys did, where they really meshed everything together like that with Batman the animated series. The way they still like always wore fedoras and the trench coats and the old like Packard, looking cars and things like that. So yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I see what you guys are doing. TJC says, I have a long weekend this coming weekend, Chad, if you are about for some Wildlands. Yeah, I'm about for some Wildlands. I believe the update comes out on the 7th, though. You want white go-go boots? No, I don't want white go-go boots. No. That's what I said. I think they could do something with... Look, I don't give a fuck one way or the other. It's just my opinion. I do suggest the Batman if you want something to put you to sleep in the first few minutes. It's prime for that. Do you mean the Pattinson the Batman? Is that the Batman you're referring to? I've seen it. I don't need to see it again. The only decent thing that came out of that was the Penguin. So, PB, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. It's a nice, crisp salute for you. Hendo says, my wife actually likes Pattinson, but completely hates his Batman. Again, Batfleck would just grab that dude, phone book. Yeah. Pi says, besides the woke crap, I didn't think Cape Crusader was written that well. It was boring watching it, only lasted a couple episodes. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, sure, I could sit down and watch it, right? But at the same time, I could watch Batman the Animated Series. Kind of goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning of mask toys. All these people, mask. Well, if you're so fucking head over heels about mask, why don't you have the Kenner shit that's superior to the Loyal Subjects retro, modern day, overpriced shit? I'm just saying, there are very many ways. There's very rarely the way. Everybody's kind of talking to each other. It is the fucking goat. It absolutely is the goat. Anyway, so we're gonna move on to something else. I want to show you guys this. This was very curious to me, and then maybe some of you can frickin' chime in on it. You know what I mean? Let me share this screen here. Look at these fucking... Hold up. Sorry. Give me 1 sec. I'm sorry. I'm doing something. Wait one. My bad. Okay. Let me add this to the stage. So this guy... I don't know how I found this, but he has hashtag Hasbro employee, and he posted this. I don't know if anybody checked this out. So he says, hi all, now that the announcement has been made official at San Diego Comic-Con, I just wanted to drop the info here in case you missed it on the interwebs. Change that a little. I will be stepping in to lead and fill the principal designer role for G.I. Joe brand moving forward. See how he said G.I. Joe brand? That's going to come back around here in a second. Role formerly held by blah, 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 Lenny, right? As he moved on to something new and amazing. Where's the fucking comments? Here's my comment. G.I. Joe or classified? There's a difference, right? There's a difference. Classified is just classified series. Kitchen sink, grab bag, whatever, Lara Croft, Action Man. It's just going to get worse. Wait and see. I've already talked about that. But I asked him specifically, are you talking about G.I. Joe? Or are you talking about fucking classified? He said both. Okay. So then there's my response. That would be a surprise, but we'll see. Best of luck. I don't know. Maybe that means some kind of, splitting hairs thing about having to work with Haya and Super 7 with Joe shit that is not classified in regard to toys. There's other stuff, but yeah, I was really interested when he said both everything. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to take a wait and see approach. Shane says, I saw that animated Cobra emblem. Meh. It's code for Screw Joe time again. Oh, if Robert Infinite Realms is still here, it's code for we're going to put the 30th anniversary on pause for retaliation. You guys remember that? Yeah. And see, even though, Blake, good to see you. Even though this is mostly a joke, Action Man is so very, very loosely related to fucking G.I. Joe's and intellectual property. It's ridiculous. But yeah, classified Ben 10. Woo, let's go. And ever since the Lara Croft announcement, I should find that on Instagram and pull that up, and we can look at all the fucking, the stands and glazers like, oh man, you guys need to get this character and that character and this character and blah, 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 and all these other characters into G.I. Joe. It's absurd. It'll make your fucking head spin. A classified scale Alpha Probe shuttle would be rad. I have my Alpha Probe shuttle out in the fucking Joe room. Yep. Adventure people, 100%. Yeah, if I was a betting man, I would put a couple of doll hairs on that. I'm sure it is fucking AI. Whatever. But. Sonny GGO says that would be cool to see what he does. You mean this guy with G.I. Joe? I still think Hasbro is gearing up for farming out franchises and focusing on gaming instead. And that opens up a broader discussion. They want to farm out all their IPs. Why the fuck did they take on Legend of Zelda? Bueller? They took on Legend of Zelda, and then they just made like a half-ass effort with those figures. You're taking on the Zelda property? Oh, well, yeah, but the animated Zelda movie's coming out. Oh, okay. But they don't want to make shit out of their own IPs that they own that saved their company. Bofa could be tons of things. They still make party favors and balloons. Yeah. Slate on Slate says, hey, Chad, thanks for the channel bump the other day. We landed 7. Only 7? Sorry. I guess my influence as an influencer is not very influential anymore. I mean, 7's good, man. Cool. Right on. Yeah, don't forget Street Fighter. Yeah. Wait for those Street Fighter Joes to come back around too. Do I think Classified will go to boss fight? I mean, I could tell you what I know versus what I think. I'm just going to say this. Take this however you want. It's all dependent on the molds. Right? Hasbro reuses the molds all the time. If Boss Fight can get a hold of the molds in the deal, yes. Have there been conversations? Yes. 100%. It depends on the molds. That's what I know for a fact. 7 chat holes are worth like 20 scrubs. Were kind of a big deal. Fuck yeah. I would say 50. I would say 70. I don't know. I think you guys are a big deal. So yeah, that's what I was saying. But here's the thing, right? I looked through this guy's stuff. Art director, character prop designer, illustrator, toy designer, purveyor of the preposterous. Okay, cool. So he puts out this thing. Hey, now I'm fucking taking over G.I. Joe lead designer. What does that really mean, though? Break it down brass tacks. Your lead designer for the G.I. Joe intellectual property, which really just consisted of classified, because Super 7 and Haya design their own shit. Half the time they just, Super 7's putting out shit that was done, in the 80s, or in certain cases, stuff that was never done, but those character models exist. Haya, for the most part, is just scaling down what's already been done in classified to include the Storm Shadow that was never made in classified, with the Bane mask and the Batman gauntlets and the big fucking Japanese tattoos. Now, Haya's Cobra Commander was designed by Apro Studios, totally different. Do I need to put that on the screen? I'm sorry. Hey, do you guys want to look at that picture of Sarge? Is that BMAC with Sarge? So that means BMAC bested Laser Pants at San Diego Comic-Con. I don't even think Ryan went this year. Ryan, if you're still here, did you go? I didn't think you went because you had a stream on Saturday. But then again, I don't know. I've been a little out of the loop. Oh, yeah, I think it's Sergeant Slaughter here. Let's take a look. How do you make it bigger? I'm trying to make it. That's it. That's all you get. I don't know. Look, I don't ever use this fucking. Okay, Ryan didn't go. Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't think so. But here's the point. Look, see, I got rid of the distraction for you guys. Downloaded. No, dude, shut the fuck up. I'm not downloading it. Enhance. We're not doing that. The point is, I'm going somewhere with this. He took over Lenny's job at Hasbro. He's been back at the company for a while. Transformers. That's when he came back to Hasbro. Transformers. Oh, yeah, fuck yeah, Psykill. Transformers. Batman. Some gay shit. More gay shit. Transformers. Gay. Like, you want to talk about cucked? Like, look at these designs. Oh my God, that's terrible. Batman, Transformers, DC, gay shit. Transformers, gay shit. Transformers. Did you guys see any Joe? Anything? Joe? I mean, I'm just scrolling through. And this, to me, it's kind of it's that 30-second rule. When you happen across somebody, and God forbid, a fucking Facebook toy group, which I don't do those anymore, and they try to tell you how it is with, this intellectual property or this toy line, and then you go look and they have nothing related to said intellectual property or toys or any of that stuff. Gummy bears isn't gay, Chad. It's kind of gay. So. Is being a lead creative designer in a creatively bankrupt company something to crow about? I don't believe so. No. Yeah, that's the thing. So, yeah. I was just kind of curious. Okay, so you took over this position and blah, blah, blah. You know what? At least he doesn't have nothing but fucking dreadnoughts. You want to talk about fake it till you make it? Have nothing but one fucking sub team of a team on all your shit. There is nothing, not only is there nothing G.I. Joe, there's nothing like militaristic. I mean, it's just a bunch of giant talking robots, animated talking robots, all of it. And then this gay shit, whatever that is. Gay gummy bears. Did anything? G.I. Joe at all? I don't know. Oh, what is that? Thought I'd give Zorana the old college try. Wanted to keep some of her original design archetypes in place while modernizing a few details. Also thought it might be fun if she had a cyber. Oh, God. This is like fucking the Concord version of Zorana. You know, Concord, the video game, if you know, you know. Oh, yeah, exactly. That's why he got it good with Lenny. OMG, it's a dreadnought. Yeah, Zorana Flux. Yeah, that is kind of an Aeon Flux version of Zorana. I mean, whatever. I'm not going to knock on someone's personal interpretation of a thing, but it was funny that we were just talking about how one person was a fucking only a stand for the Nox. Oh shit, here we go. There you go. That's close to the original classified aesthetic of Storm Shadow. Okay, so I guess I didn't scroll down far enough. Oh, right there. Fucking shit. Nope. But yeah, there's just animated stuff. But okay, I would like to change my answer. The guy has hooded Cobra Commander on his Instagram page. We gotta fucking give it up for that. So 100 people fucking canceled him for that. Let's see if there's any complaints. Cobra leader full. Oh, I wanted to see some people crying about hooded Cobra Commander. I guess we're not going to see that today. We'll have to find that elsewhere. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I don't know. Oh, geez. Talk about girl power. But yeah, that's apparently the dude who's yeah, it is a hood, right? It looks like Destro loves golden showers. No, I don't want those pants. Not even a little. These guys and their designs are awful. Yeah, I guess I just didn't scroll far enough to get to his doodles of Joes. What about this though? You guys want to see some of that? Some fucking strawberry shortcake, but yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. Kevzilla likes the Dinobots. Dokatan. Destro's a freak. Get out of here with all that stuff. But yeah, this is the dude who's I guess now the quote unquote lead designer. Ooh, look at all you guys follow him. I busted all of you. Oh, busted. You're all busted. Gay. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that shipwreck looked like shit. I mean, they're just, you know, they're artist renditions, they're interpretations. Oh no. What happened? Yeah. So this is the dude that, oh hey, look. You guys need to see that picture again? I'll put it right there. How about that? Yeah, he's apparently taken over for Len Meister right there. And I just saw that today. I don't know why it showed up in my feed, but I just thought it was interesting when I asked him, were you talking about G.I. Joe or classified? And he said both, everything. And I don't. Who knows what that even entails, right? So pretty little interesting exchange that I had with this guy that I just kind of wanted to share. Wanted to share that for a minute. Let me get rid of this since the freaking clips that I was trying to play didn't play, womp womp. But I got some more pictures of you for you use peoples. Were you guys tracking this new Black Panther guy? This new Black Panther actor? Got any clips? Got any clips? I had clips. Apparently the audio doesn't play. No. Are we gonna do it? Do I have to do it again? I might have to do it again. You know what? Fine. You fucking asked for it. Here you go. Yeah. Oh, that's what I was doing. Remember how I said I was like running out of time before I went live? I forgot to I forgot to do a thing with a thing. So new Black Panther actor was announced at San Diego Comic-Con. D-Town, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Man of Action says, you want Mask. The little guys are pennies on the dollar. Great buys out there. Yeah, absolutely. There absolutely is. Did the Bush Wookiee launch 1,000 ships? Maybe she did. Is it a she? I think the jury's still out on that. Is that a she? Is that a he? Anyway, so the new Black Panther was announced. Oh, CC Murphy, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. I still haven't opened your box. I still haven't opened it. I want to do it on a member stream. It's sitting right next to me. Anyway, I wanted to share this because we all talk about how like the ideologically and emotionally driven, you know, they're always like moving the radical goalpost further away. You just can't be enough of an activist, enough of a communist, enough of a this, that, or the other thing. Like everything has to have some kind of ideology attached to it. People are mad about the new Black Panther casting, saying that he's not black enough. He's not black enough to be Black Panther. Yes. Yes, she is. Hendo, do you want to expand on that? Kurtzman got trounced at San Diego Comic-Con by Paramount because of Kurtzman Trek? Good. Hope so. Yeah. Zool commands you to open it. Oh, well, I might have to. Kenzo, hey, Chad, can we get a palate cleanser after the Bush Wookiee? Maybe some... Oh, you want to see her? I don't have her on here either. How about this?
Chad, why are you so insensitive?
It's not the same. I got to put her on here too. Yeah. Yeah, they literally said this guy, because he's British, he's not black enough. Even though, okay, so he plays T'Challa's son, which is why he takes on the mantle of Black Panther moving forward. Comes from a fictitious African isolationist country. But he doesn't rate because he's British. And Black Panther was all about the Black American experience or some kind of shit. Yeah. I don't have any of those. I guess I could find a couple. Damn, man. Coming out swinging. Fucking terrible. Look, I love a good insensitive joke. If you guys want to make some fucking Italian jokes, I'll laugh my ass off too. It's funny. Some folks just got to stay mad about shit that isn't real. Got it. Yeah, exactly. And this is the kind of stuff that you can't fucking make up. That's always been my complaint. A black guy not black enough. Apparently so. But yeah. Black Panther casting reveal draws xenophobia accusations from sci-fi author, blah, blah, blah. David Johnson's reveal as the new Black Panther at Comic-Con drew swift agreement from most of the fandom. But small pockets of pushback over his nationality was enough to pull blah, blah, blah back into a franchise she says she already gave up on. Yeah, so she's just saying whatever. But they're saying a handful of fans on social media object to him being Black Panther because he's British and that he should not carry a role built around Wakandan, which is fake, and Black American identity. That's there you go. All of us in G.I. Joe fandom, we all embraced Arthur Burghardt as the voice of Destro. He's not Scottish. He's not Caucasian. Did anybody fucking cry about that? But yeah, apparently the new Black Panther is not black enough because he doesn't represent the Black American experience. These are the fucking people that always talk about, championing minorities and marginalized and underrepresented people. But they'll fucking eat each own. They'll eat each other. They will eat their own at any chance they get because he's not black enough. Will Smith is not Hispanic, yet he got to play Deadshot. Mm-hmm. Half the Black Panther cast are British. Kenzo, how do you knock out an Italian? Slam the toilet seat on his head while he's getting a drink. Oh. How do you grease a Ferrari? Run over an Italian. What the fuck do these idiots want? Someone with the skin complexion of barbecue charcoal. It's not even that. It's not even like his complexion. It's the fact that he's from the UK that now they say he's not black enough. And just to use that phrase, black enough. But these are also the kind of people that, if they see a black conservative or, a black person who is a police officer, they call him fucking Uncle Tom and stuff, or they throw the hard R at him. Yeah, that's the tolerant right there. Because he's British, he's not black enough to be the fucking Black Panther. Yeah, I'm definitely picking up with Dave Chappelle from this. Should have never made you rich. Hendo says the Paramount WB merger has Kurtzman on the ropes. The Ellisons don't like him or his shows. Judge put a 2-week stay, but his days are numbered. Yeah, he needs to fuck off entirely. You know what? Kurtzman and Dee Bonaventura should go start some bullshit fucking company together. Can't they just grab Chadwick's spirit from the afterworld and have it go into this new actor and say it's Black Panther from the original movie Reborn? It's not even that it's not Chadwick Boseman. It's that he's British. I mean, that's it. Because they say that, T'Challa and Black Panther in general are supposed to be some kind of, representation of the Black American experience. So, oh yeah, CeCe Murphy's a wop too. Let's go. Let's get some more Italian jokes. Wait till these folks find out Black Panther was created by a Jewish World War II vet. Ugh. People don't like facts. They like to be emotionally driven. But this is that bullshit, 100%. Yeah. If he was any blacker, he'd be Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. Oh, man, don't make him cry. Yeah. I mean, for all any of them know, this guy's a fucking fantastic actor, but they don't like him because of his accent, which, I mean, Tom Holland's got a fucking crazy accent. Yeah, apparently people in quote-unquote pockets of social media are saying he's not black enough. I will fucking guarantee you it's a bunch of white leftists. Guarantee you. I don't think blacks care or have the time to fucking complain about shit like that. But yeah, that's exactly what it is. Objected that Johnson, who's British, should not carry a role built around Wakanda, which, you know, Chadwick Boseman wasn't African. He was an American. Yeah. He shouldn't carry a role built around the Black American identity. You can't make this shit up. Lincoln Osiris should play Black Panther. We've all seen those memes. They're hilarious. Yeah, and that's the bottom line of it, right? When we talk about bluff or bottom line up front, leftists are never supposed to be satisfied. And they're not. They can't be. Just by their nature, they can never be satisfied. They always eat each other any chance they get. Oh, yeah. Well, Scarlett Johansson wasn't Russian. She shouldn't have been Black Widow. Chris Evans is not a veteran. He shouldn't have been Captain America. Mark Ruffalo definitely doesn't have any fucking PhDs. The guy doesn't even have 3 brain cells to fucking rub together. So, yeah, Chadwick Boseman was born in South Carolina. He wasn't Wakandan either. And there you have it. Yeah. And right, this is the kind of thing. This is like the long game conversation that I always have. Nobody used to give a shit about this stuff at all, period. But once everything became ideology, identification, you know, putting labels on everything. And again, it's always the white leftists that put labels on everything. They're always the ones that want to speak out for the marginalized and the minorities, and then they're the first ones to fucking do this shit. Guaranteed. Because they fucking hate themselves and they hate everybody else too. But Obama was black enough to be the first black president? Yeah. Do you guys remember in the 90s when everybody said that Bill Clinton was the first black president? You remember that? And you know who that was? White leftist Democrats that would call him that. Anybody else remember that? Yeah. Clinton's the first black president. Okay. Yeah. HGC says, feel bad for black dudes named Tom that are uncles in real life. It's got to be rough on them.
It's science, people! Science!
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I wonder if they know a lot of Africans speak French. Yeah. I mean, I spent a lot of time in Djibouti and Somalia. I know what they speak. It was confirmed at San Diego Comic-Con that Kurtzman was gone. Fuck yeah. Comments were even made at panels, and he wasn't even on site for the show events. Good, fuck him. Yeah. HGC says, people that only live on the internet have strong opinions on fictional characters. Film at 11. In other news, water is wet, sky is blue, women lie. Anybody seen that movie? Huh? Last Boy Scout? It's a good movie. Yeah. Well, that means Sir Idris Elba is not either, right? Because he's British. Yep. No, Chadwick Boseman wasn't British. Nope. I, too, am not from Wakanda. You know what's crazy? None of us are from Wakanda. Not Chadwick Boseman. Not the people who originally wrote the comics. Nobody. Will Smith isn't Arabic. He shouldn't have played the genie. Damn. Oh, Nicotronis comes from Zamunda. When I say the boy's rich, he has his own money. He has his own money. Yes. Bobby Vance, the whole point is not his color or country of origin. He's not ghetto enough, according to that article. There you go. That's like the painful between the lines thing, right? He doesn't understand the Black American identity. If you're playing a fictional character from a non-existent country in Africa, what does it matter where you were born or where you come from? Why do you need to understand the Black American identity if you're playing something that's completely fictional? It's ridiculous to say that the man is not black enough. Like, people want to say that, like, oh, these people are racist. These people are racist. They want to throw that word around like a straw man argument all the time, when at the end of the day, it's just projection. Because every time they're given a fucking chance, you get shit like that. Not black enough. Absurd. You know, when you give people enough rope, you know what they'll do with it. They will always show you their true colors. Ace's place. Almost everyone in The Walking Dead is British. They're not from Georgia. Right, exactly. He would have made a good Nightwing to Affleck's Batman. Who, this guy? Why? Are we talking about him? Why? CC Murphy says, I'm South Carolina, and I say the new guy isn't South Carolina enough. Yeah, there you go. Impossible Pie. Once social media was created, now everyone can say whatever they want and spread their agenda. Yep. And then the people that say, you know, maybe you should just leave that bullshit out of these hobbies, you become a problem because you're trying to be rational and reasonable. Yeah. Sadly, we believe that Henry Winkler was Italian as Arthur Fonzarelli. And that's it. Now the world just fucking grinds to a halt. Yep. Pepperidge Farms remembers when everybody said that Bill Clinton was the first black president. Yeah. Slick Willie's my favorite black prez. No. Fake news. Oh, Blake Tarpley says, Chad, you're not gay enough, but I still watch you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I am honored and blessed. I will try to be gayer. Mm-hmm. Slade's whole world is just blown apart. I never thought about black dudes named Tom. Yeah, I think Blake Tarpley's probably black enough to play Black Panther. He got that tan, boy. It's Chad. The Djibouti Commando could be a stellar action flick in the same vein as Megaforce. Only if we get Lorenzo Di Bonaventura to produce it and Alex Kurtzman to write it. Fuck no. No. How about no? I wish I had the frickin' gay one. I don't. Nope. Don't have it. I'll rectify that. Blake Tarpley is Blake Panther. We're going to call him Blake Panther. Ghetto is a cultural appropriation from Italy. So, Jay Vincent, what's up, man? Did I miss all the fun? No, you didn't. We're still going. We're talking about how this guy, according to all the fucking social justice warriors who, eat their own children every other day, he's not black enough to be Black Panther because he's British. Mm-hmm. You can't make it up, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's not like the United Kingdom has had their own issues in demographic fiction. Yeah, exactly. Gerard O'Connor says, if this is what we've got going, then I'd rather side with AI. You're just going to give your life to Skynet now? Because people really, you don't understand how good you have it in life when you talk about being oppressed and how you can't get ahead and all this stuff, when you have nothing better to do to survive the day than say this dude is not black enough to play Black Panther because he's British. You know the old saying, Hard times create strong men create good times create soft people create hard times. Yeah, we're in the middle of that. Because this is, this is what people are going to cry about. It's fucking ridiculous. But they want to sit around and say how they're oppressed and marginalized and every other fucking term just to try to garner sympathy. Wanting sympathy is, you just want people to pity you. Sympathy is pity. It's completely different than empathy. Yeah. If he's not black enough, will they call him Brown Panther? Wouldn't Brown Panther be fucking from like New Delhi or something? I don't know. No, it wasn't bad to say. It was funny as shit. Dude, look, Morgan Freeman was great as the president in Deep Impact. That's a fucked up movie. So, yeah. No hooded Djibouti commander in your flick. I guess not. Mad Hatter said Blake was starring in the next Jaws movie, Dead Eyes. Blake Tarpley? He doesn't have dead eyes. No. Danger in Djibouti. Yeah, that's called walking down to the shore because it's full of human shit. Yeah. Because all they do is they walk out to the shoreline of the ocean, they just shit in it. Yeah, Ryan Gosling, he might be black enough to play Black Panther. I mean, he's American, so he probably better understands the black American experience than a black British dude. It's fucking ridiculous. I'm guessing most Africans are too busy trying to scrounge up a meal to care who plays Black Panther. Most of them don't even know we went to the fucking moon, dude. So, yeah, there's that. Walking around in Afghanistan, these kids think that, like, we came from another planet. I'm not going to read that. I'm just going to put it on the screen. You guys can look at it if you want, but yes, that is accurate. Hendo says, I think it's jealousy. Worked in clubs for over a decade. A black guy with a British accent usually went home with whoever they said hi to first. Yeah. You guys remember Seal? That dude pulled all sorts of pussy. Come on. Fact. 100%. Maybe he's going to be the Brown Hornet. I don't know. It's just fucking crazy. 50 Shades of Wakanda. Hey, Chad. Hey, Ryan. Did you ever go deep in Djibouti? Like all the way into Djibouti where all the shit is at? Yes. And yes. Horrible. Yeah. Yep. Like a doll's eyes. Yeah. That's such a good scene in that movie. Pi, it's good to see you. Thank you for being here, my friend. Sorry, Ryan made me laugh too much. No way, we made it to the moon. Look, I don't want to hear anybody giving me this tinfoil hat shit like we didn't go to the moon. I don't want to fucking hear it. Yes, Impossible Pie. Go watch Tron. Yep, do it. Isn't Black Panther's son white with blonde hair in one of the recent comics? One of you fucking Marvel Comics lovers answer this fine gentleman in the chat. Don't look at me. Yeah, I'm laughing so hard it hurts. Yeah. Yeah. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. Nico Trona says, yeah, that was a story. Okay. So he Brown Panther had a little Matt tracker. Original Matt tracker, not new Matt tracker. Gotcha. Hey, speaking of Stanley Kubrick filming the moon landing, lies. Dr. Strangelove is coming back to theaters. Rosebud. Track Panther. Oh God. Okay. We're done with this. We could fucking live on this all day. I talk about the toy activists and how it's retarded and they're all full of shit. Talk about it regularly. I found something else today. It's not necessarily a fucking toy activist hero. It's more of a Pokemon card activist hero, which I didn't think that Pokemon. First of all, I've said it before as I have been educated on the topic that most toy collectors, which blows my mind, are like serious leftist commie fucks. I don't get that. But I was today years old when I found out that a lot of Pokemon card collectors, like the most beta of fucking beta, like that's right next to collecting Funko Pops. They're fucking activists too. I don't even remember how. Oh, somebody sent me this dude's fucking bullshit on Instagram. So I went and checked it out, took some screenshots, you know. Djibouti was treated like a penal colony in the core. You fucked around and found out too much, and you'll end up burning shitters in Djibouti. The last time I was in Djibouti, notice how I stressed last time? Because there was something about me and Uncle Sam's army and winding up in fucking East Africa. The last time I was in Djibouti for the last quarter of 19, all of 20, the first quarter of 21, thanks to, you know, the pandemic, the fake pandemic. The Marines were there. We actually did an operation with the Marine Raiders, and that was pretty fun. We just threw a bunch of grenades at stuff into things, but not the point. One of the Marines, like a couple days after we got on the ground, had his arm almost removed. It was so dislocated because the dumbass was trying to put one of his unit t-shirts on a fucking baboon. Yeah. This is shit you can't make up. This is totally one of those military no shit there I was stories. Couple of Marines, they were out on a patrol. They saw, you know, several wild baboons just on the side of the road like they are when they're not chasing your up armored vehicles. Had one of their unit shirts, dismounts from the vehicle, which I don't know why you're dismounting from the vehicle in a fucking combat operation anyway, and decided that he was going to put this t-shirt on a baboon, and he grabbed the baboon to put the shirt on it, and the baboon fucking yanked his arm, almost ripped it off. Idiot. Chad, what level did you get on Pokemon Go? None. What do I look like, a woman? Fucking play that shit. I mean, obviously anybody who's here hanging out knows that if you play Pokemon Go and I say that, I'm just talking shit, right? Yeah. I need to heal more before I laugh hard again. Yeah, I bet you do. I'm sorry. Kenzo doesn't like this guy right off the bat because he's a fucking Raiders fan. Lover of anime, horror, gaming, partying, and brutality, bro. Nothing says brutal like fucking collecting Pokemon cards, bro. And Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah. I wonder if Gotta Catch 'Em All is the STD rally cry at furry conventions. Probably. It probably is. Yeah, Dan, I don't know, man. But look. Smartest crayon in the box. Get it? Marines eating crayons. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Knowing the Marine vets that I do, this is very much a Marine Corps story. Can't wait to relay this info to my buddies. Yeah, 100%. Almost fucking ripped his arm right off. And then we had to get the safety briefs because, right, that's why safety briefs exist, because somebody did that bullshit. Hey, don't play with the wildlife. And I'm like, well, at least it wasn't one of the fucking hyenas, because those things are massive. That's what she said. Yeah. I don't know. Let's ask her. Hey, lady. She says yes. Wild animals, wild. It's all in the reading of the words. Words have meaning. Yes, I know exactly. You lose your arms and get the Ebolas. 100%. Oh yeah, spider monkeys. They'll F you up. Anyway, so moving on. So I came across this fucking hero right here. Let me make it a little bigger. So yeah, submortal Wookiee, related to the Bush Wookiee because she said yes. Anytime you see this kind of stuff right here, remember when I was showing Ghetto Dahmer's Facebook and he has like 40,000 posts or 400,000. I don't remember what it was. It was either 40 or 400,000 posts, and he has like 1,000 friends. And then I showed the math of, what that engagement was. It was 0.002%. Ridiculous. So yeah, this is another one of those, right? All the posts, none of the followers. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah. Pokemon, fucking Pokemon, catch them all. Pokemon, fucking bullshit, right? Son of GTO, it's good to see you. Unless you want to sit here for this part. So, some t-shirt company. I should have had the top of that. I'm sorry. I guess I cut it off. The Punisher hates cops. Well, this motherfucker says he kills them with a heart. So apparently this fucking douchebag that flexes on Pokemon cards thinks it's fucking fun that cops get killed. And I just saw that today and I was like, obviously I feel strongly about that for lots of different reasons. Some people know there's a very specific reason why, but that's that kind of bullshit that fucking, everybody wants to talk about armchair quarterbacks and shit, but I can't fucking stand that. I guess we're changing subjects. My dad once threw a grenade at a rock ape. It caught the grenade and attempted to throw it back to him and his two buddies by the time it detonated. Good God, man. I'm not going to throw grenades at any animals. I did almost shoot a donkey on the side of the road once. And then I almost made a PFC shoot it with an AT4 because we thought it was an animal-born VBID, right? Yeah. Animal-born IED. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. And that's all I got. That's all I got for today. Tomorrow we'll talk about citizen vigilante and a bunch of other assed up shit. But for today, that's all I got. So now everybody's talking about people in uniform messing with wildlife. That's an Air Force thing we're forced to participate in, and only stateside. Some airmen tried telling us to wear. What are you guys talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. So George Aiken, he was trying to dress a baboon. Was he planning to take it on a date? Yep. What's the story behind the PT belt? That's kind of a long history. People not using ground guides properly, people getting run over by heavy equipment. Every time that when I was still stationed on Fort Bliss North, which is a massive range complex. So you have like McGregor and all this stuff, and it almost comes all the way up to Kirtland, and it goes all the way over to Wismar or White Sands Missile Range. Anytime you'd be, doing any kind of like training or joint operations or anything like that, you would always hear the unfortunate incident of, people are in their alpha or their assembly area and they're like, lying on the ground or whatever, and a vehicle doesn't have a ground guide. And yep, always. So they thought that fucking reflective belts would keep everybody safe from everything. And then that's, why we wound up with all the reflective belt jokes. Wait, we're supposed to have followers on Instagram? Yeah. I guess. My Instagram's been exploding since I ripped the Band-Aid off and stopped, fucking just turning the other cheek with shitty people and playing nice with fake motherfuckers. Hey, speaking of fake motherfuckers, I saw I don't know why I saw it, but like Figure Fight Club the other day had like 9 motherfuckers on screen and 30 people watching. I guess that kind of fizzled out, huh? But whatever. It is what it is. Kenzo says, so to recap, buy the Loyal Subject Switchblade if you want it, but everything else go vintage. If you want to. Do you want it? I still got to end this stupid poll. And I got to do it on the interwebs. Where are we at? Where are we at? Let's end this poll. If you were to buy a mask now, was the poll, which doesn't even show up here. 59% said vintage Kenner. 30% said bit of both between vintage Kenner and modern retro Loyal Subjects. And then only 11% said Loyal Subjects. Interesting. Good to know. I think tomorrow we might do a Kobayashi Maru. We might. And if we do it, I don't want to give it away, but it's going to be 2 Hanna-Barbera characters. That's what we'll do for tomorrow's Kobayashi Maru. I'm afraid to do the Switchblade transformation with my OG. Now, that's one thing that I absolutely understand. I 100% can relate to that. Even when you're moving pieces in a position, you hear that dreaded plastic creaking. And the Switchblade is, right, the action is, it's very quick. Yeah. HGC says, if the Loyal Subject Switchblade, aka the new one, goes on sale, I maybe, possibly might get it. Again, we're all human. If I had the couple extra bucks sitting around, which I mean, I kind of do, but doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to get it. $60 for that Thunderhawk, that's not that bad. That's not that bad. But once you start getting up into $175 for the not Rhino and $90 for the Switchblade, again, sometimes that 10 or $15 makes all the difference in the world. Same thing could be said about Destro and the Despoiler. Sometimes it's just that little bit that just breaks it. InDesigns. Did I get that right? What's up, Chad from Oahu? Dude, thank you so much, man. Thank you for being here. Everybody welcome him into the chat. If you're still here and you're paying attention, welcome InDesigns into the chat. This is for you, my dude.
Wolverines!
Wolverines. Hell yeah.
Thank you for being here. And I appreciate that you enjoy my customizing videos. Thank you. No, it will not be Johnny Quest. 2 specific male Hanna-Barbera characters. And you can only have one. And everything that character has ever appeared in. That's the Kobayashi Maru. CC Murphy says, I bought the entire vintage mask collection, complete a few months back for under $1,000. Complete Boulder Hill included. Can't beat that. There you go. Mask is one of those lines, like, especially for completionists, there's not that much. Every line's going to have the expensive shit, the harder to find stuff. But yeah, 100%. Oh, look, everybody's saying welcome. Blue Falcon and Wonder Mutt. No. See, I'm not a liar. And I have a horrible poker face. One of the characters is Space Ghost, yeah. One of them is Space Ghost. I'm not giving you who the other one is. Space Ghost versus Birdman. Birdman! No, it's not Birdman. It's not Captain Caveman either. Shut up. George Jetson versus Barney. Nope. No. One of the characters is Space Ghost. I'm not giving you who the other one is. Till tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, Kobayashi Maru. We're not doing a poll about, do you want this toy line or anything like that. We're going to get fucking sweaty. Tomorrow, we're going to get sweaty on the poll because the topic is going to be citizen vigilante, and is it really as controversial as people think, or is it controversial because of the message that people don't want out there? I used to be able to do fucking do the, was that Gleep and Gloop or whatever the fuck they were? Yeah, fucking Herculoids. What was the name of the not Triceratops that shot the fucking like magma rocks out of his not horn? Fucking Herculoids. Yeah. No, not Jabba Jaw. It's Jabba. Jabba Jaw, not Jabba Jaw. No. I need to get some boob clips. That's what we're going to need to do. I got some homework to do, kids. I got to grab a couple of the Nightmare Fuel reels and Tundro. That's it. Thank you, Blake. They made the worst fucking sounds. The Herculoid critters. Yeah, I got some Nightmare Fuel clips that I got to pull over from the main Sunday stream. I might have to go find a couple of clips of this. Yeah, Brandon, what's up, man? The custom mobile space command helped me find you, brother. That shit was well done. Any new random play sets you got your eyes on since? I have a couple. I have a couple sitting in storage. Most of them are like that Walmart click and play Kids Connection kind of shit. Right now I'm working on an updated Cobra bunker, and it's like a big, like 3-piece legitimate bunker, almost like a World War II pillbox. Working on that. I've been trying to finish Energon Masterpiece Prime and Megatron. Yeah, so Prime has Megatron's arm, Megatron has no arm, and Laserbeak with the wires. I've been trying to finish those, but my Joe room's a little bit in shambles. Yeah, work-life balance, right? So, yeah. But thank you. I appreciate it very much. No, it's not Grape Ape. It's not Grape Ape. It's not Jabba Jaw. It's none of them. It's somebody else. It'll be Space Ghost versus somebody. You'll see it. It'll make sense. I appreciate you all. Brandon, thank you for being here. Everybody, thank you for being here, hanging out with me for mandatory fun on this fine Tuesday, July 28th. If you're watching this on replay, please, if you would, if not, that's fine too. Leave a like, hype the video, because again, I am still shadow banned on YouTube because I fucking call shit as it is. No, not Captain Caveman. Get fucked. Anyway, thank you all very much for hanging out with me. I'll see you tomorrow for Mandatory Fun, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. We will talk about Citizen Vigilante, some hard statistics that people don't like when we talk about diversity being our strength. And then we're going to have a sweaty poll. You guys are the best. Appreciate you very much. Make collecting great again. Don't be a tribalist. That's that bullshit. Have a good day.
Suck my balls!
Say that one more time.
Yes, it's Thundar the Barbarian. Fucking jerks. Always stay till after the credits. Always. You're always going to get an Ed credit stinger. You guys know. Tomorrow we will be discussing Space Ghost versus Thundar the Barbarian. Kobayashi Maru. You only get one. It'll be awesome. You guys are the best. And bye. Bye.